Welcome to the SportsCaster.com pregame show here in Dexter, Michigan. It's football season, guys. Kristen Kajawa, Michael Spath, Taryn Fritching, good to be with you guys. We're going to do the pregame show, the halftime show, and the postgame show. And, of course, tonight's broadcast will be in partnership with WJR and AM 760 Radio. Looking forward to that. Student broadcasters helping make the call tonight. As they did last week, it was amazing. Those students did a great job. We expect the same thing tonight. Looking forward to this great matchup tonight. Listen, guys, it's football season. Chill is in the air.
Man, we were joking about having to do some calisthenics between breaks here because the sun has gone down. And now, I mean, last week I think we were all in T-shirts or short-sleeve shirts.
Right.
We were all warm. I got burnt a little bit on the face. This week, we are all dressed up, ready to go. Tomorrow, Michigan takes on Texas at the Big House.
Yeah.
It's only supposed to be like 55 degrees at game time.
Right, and windy, yeah. So it's football season.
And you know, not only is it football season, guys, but like, look at the environment. I know the cameras can't really spin yet, but you have got, Kristen, you point out, you've got youngsters here.
We have the cheer team.
Yeah.
We have the Pee Wee football team. We have the band on the field.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It is so good.
We have the best seats in the house.
Small town America.
I love it.
Cute. We got a chance to drive through the town earlier before the game started.
You should have stopped in the town like I did.
Yeah, you had a great stop. You
did.
made a good stop.
Did you see all the signs coming in?
Yeah.
Dread Strong.
Oh.
Loved it.
Look,
so good.
High school football is important to communities like this. That's for
Absolutely.
sure.
Well, and I mean, to that end, I mean, this is why we are doing what we're doing. It's what SportsCaster is doing, is connecting communities. We're bringing students from Dexter High School and from Saline High School and from Troy High School, Troy Athens High School.
Yep.
Sorry, Taryn. And we are putting the mic in your hands. We're giving them the opportunity to become broadcasters and sportscasters, and in an environment like this, you know, I know from talking to a couple of friends in the Dexter High School community, they were promoting that Noah gets to, you know, is out there going to be a broadcaster
Isn't that
tonight.
great? Yeah.
This is exactly what we are trying to achieve at SportsCaster.com and this great partnership that we have with WJR. And so very excited about it, very excited about this evening. We will get into some football talk with Taryn in just a few minutes here. We have got a top 25 matchup according to MLive. Number 25 Dexter versus number 10 Saline tonight. But first, we're going to start off with a new segment. Why don't you introduce it, Jeff, because this was your idea. And
Kristen's new segment, right?
Oh, my
Kristen,
new segment. That's
that segment,
right.
Who knew?
Who knew?
You're going to tell us things that we need to know, a little backstory,
Yeah.
a little background.
A little nugget.
A little nugget, some
I'm
inside
gonna
scoop
try and stump you.
on the schools and on maybe the town, whatever it is. So, Kristen, you've got a feature for us tonight. Let's hear it.
Are we ready? Okay,
Yeah.
so here's my little tidbit for the night. So we were driving into Dexter, so cute, love it, small town. On the signs it said, Dread Strong. Their mascot is the Dreadnought. Anybody know what that is?
I was just going to say, what? Right.
What is it?
Well, okay, so I'm not going to answer
stumped
because
you.
I did my homework. I know.
Okay,
But
Michael?
I didn't know until I did my homework.
Michael, do you know what a Dreadnought is?
I'm going to guess some type of like Celtic Scotsman from the 1400s.
Oh, no, not at all, actually.
He's trying to sound
no.
sophisticated.
Taryn, do you have any guesses?
I do actually know what it is.
Okay,
Oh,
then
you
she's
do?
cheating
So what
too.
we're talking about, this is the Dexter Dreadnoughts.
This is the
right,
Dexter
these
Dreadnoughts.
guys are Dreadnoughts.
These are the Dexter Dreadnoughts, and on their logo is a ship. And actually, a dreadnought is a battleship, and it was famous during early 20th century World War I.
Okay.
And the reason why Dexter took it on is because their community was a major part of helping support, building and working on the dreadnoughts from World War I.
That's very cool.
And so they've taken that.
Who knew?
How about that?
We do now.
Wow.
That's great.
This segment is off to a killer
And
start.
we've got kids, students
They're
standing
so
here. They're making
exciting.
their presence known.
Yeah.
This is a great environment they've
Yeah.
got
Is Dexter
here. These
going to
are
win
homers.
tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should get
so
these
that's what
guys
you got
behind
for me
us.
For Dexter. What about for Saline?
So Saline. So Michael, you might actually know this one. So do you know that Saline had a famous football player that graduated? He went on to play for the New York Jets, and he also played for Michigan State. You are our guru. Do you know who that person was?
I do not.
Now again, I did a little homework in the prep
I think
before
you
the
were
show.
looking
So
at my notes.
I didn't look at your notes, but I
Okay.
actually heard you talking about
Okay.
it. So I'm not going to answer. But
The only one that I would the New York Jets and Michigan State, to put those two connections, there's an in-state kid, a former tight end that went to Michigan State that played for the Jets, but I don't remember his name to save my life.
So Christopher Baker, actually. Christopher Baker. He was a third-round draft pick in 2002.
Wow. That's so
and
cool.
he went on to play for the New York Jets.
How cool.
Wow,
And he was, part of Michigan State, go green. And he came from Saline.
What do you have to say about that, Michael?
How about that?
Michael.
Who knew? Who knew?
This is going to be a
thank
great
you.
segment.
It takes him a little while, but he gets it eventually.
yes,
no, that's
yes.
great. Who knew is right. Well, that's great, Kristen.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
now we know a little bit about both of our. So we have the Saline Hornets tonight versus the Dexter Dreadnoughts.
And I will say this about Dexter, too. There are two great cider mills in this town. I went to one of them earlier, the Dexter Cider Mill. Had my first cider mill donut of the year.
Oh.
It was really, really good. Considering it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you probably didn't make those donuts. I mean, they probably made them 6 or 7 hours ago.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Was it fresh and warm?
It was. It was.
What I really liked about it is we called you to say, where are you already? Where are you? You said, I'm doing my homework, my game prep.
I was.
You're right for the show.
I went and got a beer.
So you had to do your research. you had to-
I walked through the park.
Right.
I really got a feel for this community.
This is
All
a
right.
great community.
I want to call out before we're going to talk some football here
Yeah.
in just a second. We want to hear what the football experts, the gurus in the group here, had to say about this game, where we think it's going. But first, before we do that, I just want to call out our sponsors who support not only us, but the really big homers for their schools here. On the Saline side, Ben Torres, the Ben Torres Agency, a State Farm agent, is a supporter of ours tonight, a sponsor, and they're here, of course, at the game. And from Dexter, Isaac Cicito is here, the Isaac Cicito Agency from Dexter. We appreciate those guys very much, and
They'll be part of our halftime
I know
show.
the communities do too.
Yeah, they'll be part of our
Yes,
halftime
indeed.
show.
We'll have them on during the halftime show.
Yep.
Great.
Yes, something to look forward to. Well,
So what do you guys think about where
Let's talk football.
What should we be watching in tonight's game? What are some of the highlights that we should be watching for? And who do you think's going to prevail?
Yeah, I'm going to kick it over to Taryn because Taryn's got a couple of names both on Saline and on Dexter. And since it's the hometown team, Taryn, why don't we start with Dexter, including there's a couple of players who are committed to Big Ten schools.
So I will start with offensive tackle Cam Clark. So he is a senior, and he is committed to play football at Wisconsin. He is a 4-star, and really he's just been leading that O-line throughout the years. I recall watching him last year here, and I'm just amazed at not only his size, but the rest of the size of the offensive line.
Really,
I'm like,
it's unbelievable.
I'm astonished.
Astonished is right. They came walking in. These are kids still.
Yeah.
And they don't look like it at all. I mean,
Not
these
at
kids
all.
have been in the weight room, and certainly they've been on a good diet because the height, the height.
Yeah,
Whatever they're eating.
6'4",
served them well.
6'5",
Yeah,
6'6",
seriously, it's unbelievable.
300-pound offensive linemen. And the good news is that not only do they look like they have a great offensive line, but they've got a terrific running back who's committed to Northwestern. Tell us about him, Taryn.
So Ronnie Johnson is also a senior, and he will be going to Northwestern after this year. So Cam and Ronnie will most likely be seeing each other after Dexter, but it'll be great to see him. He is obviously returning. Cam's returning, and that's actually something that I talked with quarterback Cooper Arnett earlier this week, and he said that just the role that all of these returning players have is just so key because they know the high school football experience and they know what to do in big circumstances, whereas some of the other kids, say as Saline, they might not know because all of their great players are returning this year.
Well, I mean, it's a great point because when you have that experience, you're playing in, arguably, I would say the biggest game in the Ann Arbor area is this one in Week 2, Dexter versus Saline. As I mentioned, Dexter number 25 according to MLive, Saline number 10 according to MLive after their opening week games. Saline blew out Brighton in the first week. Dexter squeaked one out in overtime against Livonia Franklin, and so both teams are 1-0. But you mentioned the experience factor. The starting quarterback for Saline is not experienced. However, he comes from one of the great legacy families in this area, Tommy Carr, whose grandfather coached the University of Michigan, Lloyd Carr. His older brother is going to Notre Dame. Tell us a little about Tommy Carr and the Saline football team.
So Tommy Carr is going into his junior year, just like Cooper Arnett. However, obviously Tommy's brother was the quarterback last year, whereas Cooper has that first year under his belt, and he's going into his second year starting on varsity, and that's what makes these two quarterbacks completely different, because whereas they're the same age and they are in the same grade and whatnot, but the experience level from both quarterbacks in both programs are just completely different, and maybe Tommy has learned something from his older brother that we don't know, but we don't know until we watch this game.
Wow. That's a horn.
Hey, that's a dreadnought.
A horn from a dreadnought.
Okay. Who knew?
Who knew?
Terrific.
Unbelievable.
Well, I just learned that.
It's so cool. The team just took the field,
Yeah.
the Dexter team.
Yeah.
So lots of fanfare going on for the home team.
Well, here's some good news for Tommy Carr is he's got one of the top tight ends in the state of Michigan in Lincoln Keys that he's going to have a chance to throw the football to. I mean, anytime you have a tight end, whether you're in the NFL, the college ranks, or in high school, you have that person that can bail you out on third down and just move the chains. That's always a great position to be in. He also has one of the top up-and-coming running backs in the state of Michigan in James Rush. And so, you know, Taryn, when you look at it, and you mentioned Cam Clark, and we mentioned the offensive line, do you think this will be a run-heavy game for both teams? Or, and get a chance to talk to Cooper, understanding who Tommy Carr is, do you think we're going to see a bit of the pass tonight?
I would like to think that Dexter would go with a running game. I mean, you have a running back that's committed to a Big Ten school. Why not use that power? I mean, they also have other players like Cole Navarro, which he is great. I believe at least last year he did return for them, and I do believe that he still returns this year. But he's also a junior, and he has those years under his belt, but he still has time to learn and to develop and to grow those skills. And I would like to see them utilize their running backs, because you have so many good ones right in your own backyard. Why not use them?
Right.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well, I'll be curious.
And a great offensive line.
Absolutely.
It's in front of them.
I'll be curious, team. You know, last week we were at the Davison De La Salle game, and Anthony Biante was the star player for De La Salle. I don't know about you, but if you listened to the broadcast last week, you watched on SportsCaster.com, I will be paying attention to that game, especially since we'll see them next week when they take on Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Yep.
I know they're about to play the national anthem here, and we are going to talk through it. You know, we are very respectful, and we'll have our hands over our hearts here. But going to talk through it. So, but look, this is a really cool opportunity. Week 2 of the college football season. Week 2 of the high school football season. We've got 8 more weeks to go.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
We'll get to the playoffs. That'll be incredibly exciting. Cass Tech King is coming up on our schedule. We've got Catholic Central versus Brother Rice, I believe. I mean, we've got a lot of great games. But when you look at high school football, what I love about it is that these small communities all come together. We are looking right now at the Dexter fan base, and that crowd, that stadium is packed.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Absolutely packed. And then you look over on the Saline side, guys. Packed.
Yeah, no, the energy, the camaraderie, the whole spirit of the whole thing is just amazing. It's just really a beautiful thing. One of the last bastions of innocence left in sports today, for sure.
Until they get NIL deals, right?
Well, and it's happening. We know it's happening. But listen, I want to also make sure we call out the sportscasters who will be up in the booth and on the field. Of course, sitting here again, Taryn Fritching, who's done a fabulous job, by the way, giving us, kind of an idea, look into the game in this pregame show. We appreciate that very much. In addition, we've got Noah Boyce, who will be the student broadcaster in the booth from Dexter, Cody Stedman from Saline, Cameron Abello from Saline, and Isabella Rain, as she's known, Douglas from Saline as well. So those will be our student broadcasters tonight, doing a fabulous job. You set the bar high early on. That was really good, by the way.
Thank you.
Incredible. Great job.
Well, it's we're just watching the band here as they come off. Score predictions, everybody.
I'm going to be a homer and go with Dexter just to, how can you root against a dreadnought?
Yeah, always, right.
Right.
Go for the home team.
Okay,
Taryn?
I'll go score prediction 30-27 Saline.
Oh, I'm going with Dexter. I don't care. I just want Dexter to win. Oh, look at how cute they are.
You know what?
You are not welcome in Saline anymore. I wouldn't go there anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. I am going to take the Hornets. They had a very impressive Week 1 victory over Brighton. I think they come out. I think Tommy Carr has the biggest night, and we're interviewing him afterwards.
All right. Listen, we're getting ready for kickoff.
Yeah.
Let's throw it up to Chris Renwick in the booth. Chris.
is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR.
All right, you ready?
Detroit.
Let's do it. Ready?
Yeah. From the heart of America and the high school home game gridiron is live to the game on 760 WJR. Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Now, here's your hometown football host, Chris Renwick.
Welcome in. Beautiful night for high school football as the opening kickoff already underway. Dexter taking it down the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds. Big return from Cole Navarra, pushed out of bounds by Patrick Williams, and that is a way to start our high school football coverage this Friday evening. It is a pleasure to be with you, and I'm joined by a couple of new friends. Noah Boyce from Dexter, maybe MSU bound, maybe Central bound. The colors certainly would match up in mid-Michigan. Noah, it's good to see you. How about that opening kickoff return?
That was crazy. Cole Navarra just hit the sidelines and went as fast as he could. He's got the Jets, and last week he had a return for a touchdown against Livonia Franklin. He's showing that he can do it again and again.
Also, Cody Stedman with me from Saline, a senior there. This defense for the Hornets have a little bit of work to do here early on.
Yeah, they do. I see a lot of our players, especially our starters for this game, has gone through a lot. They play a lot of different positions, and especially from that opening drive, they have a lot to work to do in order to get some scores this game.
That's a good tackle there by the inside linebacker, Cole Ross, making the tackle. It was a quick little give to Ronnie Johnson, who is Northwestern bound, as a matter of fact, but good play there. Brings up second down, gain of none on the play. Man in motion, that's Navarra. Here's the fake. They're going to flip it across the middle. That one's caught out at the 25-yard line. Good little pass and flip. Gabe Rickner hauled it in. That'll be good for a first down. And that's just a nice little read option from Cooper Arnett. Just faked it to the back and then flipped it over the middle for a first down. Dreadnoughts with a fresh set. Quick pass out to the flat. Cutting in at the 25-yard line and then taken down just shy of the 20. Jaden Jubak hauls it in. It'll be second down.
Jaden Jubak's got a special pair of hands. He's been going around the state, going to a bunch of different colleges. He's got some looks from a bunch of different schools. He definitely has the talent to be out here.
Third down, early first quarter action here. Two receivers to the left. Arnett takes, fakes, throws, crossbody, incomplete. Was looking for Holden Niemi, who is one of the star players on this field tonight. A sophomore tight end, 6'5", has offers from some of the biggest schools in the country, including Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. So he's got quite a decision to make in the coming years as he continues to develop his game. So ball to the turf, third down. Arnett's going to give up the middle. Pushes forward inside the 20-yard line. It's going to be just shy of the first down. Needed the 15, got the 16. So an early decision here for this Dexter offense.
If I know anything about Coach Jacobs, I know he's probably going to play it a little risky today. I know Saline's a hard team to beat that, and he's not going to sit on the sideline and kick field goals all night.
Going forward here early in the first quarter, scoreless on 4th and 1. And we got a flag. This home crowd here at Dexter likes not fresh set. Inside the 15-yard line down to the 11.
You know, this is one of the things that I see a lot with our Saline team. I especially saw it last year with the Belleville game. A lot of these offside calls that they're getting called on by our coaches here, they got to get better if they got to get through this.
Arnett tries the give onto the inside, into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Ronnie Johnson puts it in, and Dexter takes off that long kickoff return.
What did I else. He hit the sideline. He was able to stay on his feet while being tackled. Nice play.
And Cooper Arnett reading that perfectly, reading those defensive end of this Hornets defense, made the correct decision, handed it off, and just like that, Dexter finds the end zone and an extra point. Gives them a 7-0 lead. 9:43 to play here in the opening quarter. You know, we talked a little bit about Holden Niemi there, but we're going to see another special tight end coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Lincoln Keys, another tight end, 6'6", a lot of size, a lot of room to continue to develop, but he's got offers from a lot of those same schools, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, and this Saline offense led by a very familiar name around these parts, Tommy Carr, starting for his brother, who in fact is now a member of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish this year.
Yeah, that's right. Especially with the Carr community, not only in the Saline community, but also in Washtenaw County, has left such a legacy on the Michigan team, especially after that 7-point grab.
Samuel Cormier with a big boot into the end zone. So this Hornets team will start off at their own 20-yard line, and out will come Tommy Carr, the junior, who spent a lot of time behind his brother the last couple of years. You mentioned that Lloyd Carr connection, obviously the legendary coach at the University of Michigan. So a lot of football pedigree in the Carr family. And, of course, he gets the start. He'll trot it out tonight with this high-powered Saline offense. They had a big win last week against Brighton, beat them 41-20, did they, the Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Carr to the shotgun, takes, gives to his back, up the middle, cut by 8 on the play. James Rush with the tote there. Tommy Carr will get the call in from the sideline. 9:20 to play here in the opening quarter. Dexter up 7-0. Two powerhouse teams in the state of Michigan. Tommy Carr takes. Going to give it once again. James Rush. Gained just about a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy of the 30-yard line. So it's going to bring up third down and short here for the Hornets.
One of the defensive keys for Dexter is just to be sound, play smart, and number 8, Nathan Gersh for the Dexter's defense. He does that better than anyone else. He's one of the big stars on our defense, and we'll be looking at him the whole night, making plays.
Big third down here early for Saline. Under center goes Tommy Carr. Takes the snap, gives, pushing it forward, keeping those legs churning. James Rush into the middle of the pile, and enough for a first down out to the 32-yard line. That is a good push in front. Guys like Isaac Furlong, the center, Vincenzo Godfrey, Ryan Bondi, those guards. A lot of push and a lot of leg churning there by James Rush. Picks up the first down.
Especially with James Rush, he does a lot of things, and he wants to be the best teammate and the best leader of this team, and he hopes to lead that through every single yard that he gains.
So first down here for Saline. They've got two receivers left to right. Ball splits the hash mark, man in motion. Carr surveys, settles in. Claps his hands, calls for it, and gets it. Quick three-step drop, flush from the pocket, rolling, looking, throwing, got a man out to the 40 to the 45-yard line. That is good play there by Tommy Carr, keeping his eyes down the field. Austin Abbott hauled it in for a big gain and a first down.
You know, Austin Abbott has been a huge part of this offensive team. Back in the spring, his father sadly died of cancer, and one of his big motivations for his son to do is to pursue football and keep at it throughout his high school and maybe even college career. Now this, especially from last week, it's going to be a big play for this game against Dexter.
Here's a little trick play, double reverse, flip back to Tommy Carr, looking down the field. Nothing there, just throws it away. Tried a little bit of a trickeration, but nothing there, and smartly just threw it away. Good coverage down the field from this Dreadnoughts defense.
Dexter sideline asking for a flag. They're they were looking on the Saline sideline, I might have seen a little illegal man downfield. I don't know. The refs are talking about it right now.
Looks like that was Ryan Bondi who was finishing his block all the way to about the 45-yard line on the far side of Alrit Stadium here from where we are in the press box, but no flag. Referee staff comes over, give the explanation to the Dreadnoughts, but otherwise, it'll be second down. Carr calls for it, gets it, gives it up the middle with a hole, out to the 40-yard line, trucks over a defender. Walper on the carry, lowers the boom, and gives Saline another fresh set of downs.
Even though Nate Walper wasn't one of our starters this round, he has done a lot for this team, and especially last year entering into his junior to close to his senior year. His credits are mostly finished up. He's become a full student athlete at Saline High School, and hopefully he can bring something special to this offensive team, maybe even a few touchdowns.
Saline goes to the 40-yard line, ball far hash mark, inside Dreadnought territory, 1st and 10. Tommy Carr claps, calls for it, and gets it. Why not feed Walper again with a hole? Big push up front, gain of 12 inside the 30 to the 28, and another first down here for Saline, just gashing this defense on the ground.
One thing I've seen, especially with the Carr family, that they've been taught to read coverage, and especially when I talked to Tommy about this, he was able to read the coverage wherever they might be, find out where they're looking, find that perfect place to slide in, and get more yardage as they go down towards the end zone.
First down. Here's a give. Walper again. Good tackle there. That's Nathan Gersh.
Like I said, Nathan Gersh, able to make plays. I was talking to him. He said one of his main goals for the year is to be one of the 11 men on the field, do his job, and push this team towards victory every single week.
Chris Renwick with you, Noah Boyce from Dexter, Cody Stedman, my new friends here joining me in the booth as we cover this massive game. And really two powerhouse teams in the state of Michigan, 5:30 to play here in the first. Saline looking for their first points of the game. Dexter with a 7-0 lead. Second down, Carr takes. Giving it to Walper again, running through the middle of that line, right side that time. Inside the 15, down to the 14. That'll be enough for a first down. Having a difficult time, Dexter is just trying to find an answer to this ground game. Inside, those blocks are really effective. And as of now, Dexter hasn't found an answer to stop it.
These linebackers, these D linemen are going to have to shed some blocks and get to that backfield because by the looks of things, they're just going to run right down their throats and into the end zone.
Tommy Carr calls for it from the shotgun, gives it up the middle. James Rush on the carry. He'll pick up positive yards, call it 3. So bring up second down. That was a good time crashing that line by this Dexter defense. Much more effective. Now brings up second down here as Tommy Carr checks the sidelines for his play.
One of the things I did talk with James Rush about is that he's willing to do whatever it takes to get it done. Whether that be slide through some interceptions, slide through some picks, he makes sure that he wins each game, whether that's piping up the defense or getting through running with the offense.
And that's that type of killer mentality you need to play this game. You got to have that in you, and certainly James Rush does. Motion man right to left. That's the big tight end. Here's the give. Rush cuts it upfield into the end zone. Touchdown, Saline.
That's the magic I was just talking about. He has to do whatever it takes, and especially with Tommy Carr, those two are a perfect connection just to get to slide through that coverage and be able to get that touchdown.
Had a couple of defenders draped all over him, but he was able to get into the end zone for the score. Extra point away from tying this thing up. Austin Abate will line it up and give this one a go.
On the field, Easton Kostanika, also known as Costco, and locals at Saline High School.
Good snap, good hold there. Puts that one up, and it is good. All tied up. Now, I got to tell you, 3:56 play here in the first quarter. That's a good answer from Saline. A bit of a backbreaker early on. You take the opening kickoff deep into your opponent's territory. It's a good answer from the Hornets.
Yeah, it is. Especially with last week, they had a little bit of struggle when they went against a Brighton. There was a lot of opportunistic time to cope because we saw the early team. We didn't see much from it besides some preseason games. But once we hit with Brighton, then it was sure that this team, this 121st team of Saline High School, is going to hit hard this season.
And now Dexter's got to find an answer. They were able to do some things offensively. They had a short field, but certainly now Dexter's got an opportunity to answer once again here, potentially even before the quarter's over.
Yeah, Dexter's offense likes to play fast. I was able to touch Jacobs about that, and he said, you know what, it's going to be a tough game, but we go out there, we give it our all. There's no way they're stopping us.
Now, you were a former football player.
Yes, sir.
What did you play?
I played outside linebacker for most of my career, and I played DB my junior year last year.
That one gets popped up. Ball's on the ground. Saline says they have it. That's a live ball. And they do.
Look at that.
So it was just a little pop-up kick. And there was a little bit of confusion back on that Dreadnoughts return group. Looked like it came to the up back and couldn't handle it, fell to the turf, and then Saline able to hop on top of it.
Hit off by Brady Clark, a junior playing as a defensive back. He has done a lot for last and this season, especially with the Brighton game. Most of his plays came in with a bunch of different sacks, maybe even some Brighton QB sacks. But especially with that game, gaining some yards and getting that back at the 20-yard line, I think this is going to be a show for the road.
Well, this is one of those games where you have to capitalize on your opportunities. Dexter did it in their opening drive. Saline on that second drive, they take it back. Now they've got a short field at the Dreadnought 20, and out comes, once again, Tom Carr. And this offense in position here to strike.
And another game I see right here is number 17, Lincoln Keys. That's how you know something big is going to happen this round.
Fakes it to Rush, goes to the outside. Austin, he'll get taken out of bounds inside the 10-yard to the 9. That's a fresh set. It'll be first and goal here for Dexter.
There's that determination I was talking about, Austin Abbott. He's gone through a lot these past 9 months, and especially with the Brighton game, I think they're going to go even farther. And one of the things that the most of the team told me, their main goal for this season, championship and beat Belleville.
Well, they certainly have the talent to do it. This is a good football team as they stack two receivers to the left. That's the near side. Ball near hash mark. Abbott comes in motion left to right. Tommy Carr settles in to the shotgun. Surveys, calls for it, and gets it this time. Gives it to Rush. Up the middle, makes a cut. Into the end zone. Touchdown. And just like that, 2 plays later, off the botched kickoff, Saline makes the Dreadnoughts pay, and they're up 13-7.
I think we just saw a little bit of payback there. Yes, they squeezed through during the opening games of the first quarter, but that wasn't supposed to happen, and it's not going to happen now that we're about to be 14-7.
This is Costco, right?
This is Costco.
I like Costco. This
Ethan
is perfect.
Kostanikas is entering his senior year. He loves playing kicker punter, and
that one's up and good.
Didn't jinx it.
So just just like that.
You're hoping I jinx it, huh?
Saline up 14-7, and now really, Noah, now you have to answer. Now there has to be an answer from this Dreadnoughts team.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes like that on that kickoff. I believe it was Grant Goodrich who just kind of hesitated for 1 second. He saw the ball on the ground, didn't pick it up, and it looks Saline's trying to pull Navarra on that opening kickoff. Cole was brought it about 20. They're going to start kicking it away from him.
It's a good game plan because he's obviously very explosive. He's got some moves, and he can see the field very well. We saw that on the open kickoff. And now Dexter's got to respond here, certainly, with just 3:04 to play here in the opening quarter. Saline on top. beautiful night for football. We are happy that you're able to join us. We've got a jam-packed crowd here in Dexter for this one. Another bit of a pop-up kick. This one taken, coming back the other way. A little bit of a hole there initially, but closed really well by this Saline special teams unit. Brought back by Grant Goodrich, and this offense finally gets another opportunity to come back out here and put some points on the board.
There you go. Didn't make a mistake again. That's what we like. Even if it's a few yards after you catch the ball, it's a lot better than handing that ball right over Saline's offense. Let's see what Dexter's offense can do now.
So Cooper Arnett and the Dexter Dreadnoughts offense back out. Ball near hash mark. Dexter moving left to right. Here's a give to Ronnie Johnson near side. Ran out of space and then forced out of bounds. Nolan Klein, the safety, coming down to make the play.
Even though Nolan Klein does play a little bit of defensive back, a little bit of safety, he also plays as the backup for Tommy Carr just in case something goes wrong. But after that hit, I think Nolan Klein might be staying in the defensive position for a while.
Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3. Arnett takes quick throw over the middle, got his man just shy of the 50-yard line. That's Holden Niemi, their big tight end, for a first down to the 47.
I saw a bit of hesitation with our defensive team. As soon as they saw the ball fly over, the Saline defense instantly panicked. We put 3 to 4 people on there to make sure that they wouldn't go any farther than the 3 yards they just gained.
Clock ticking, 2:30. Saline up 14-7. Here's a give to Ronnie Johnson. Stiff arms one man, stiff arms another, and runs out of bounds. Picked up maybe a half a yard, but not much more. Nice job on the edge by this Saline defense.
I know that Ronnie Johnson is very particular about his offensive line. I don't think he'll like that very much. I heard last week, talking around to the team, that Dexter couldn't get the ball going on the ground very much, and he wasn't having it. So let's hope Dexter's offense can get rolling.
Cooper Arnett draws a man off sides. That's Alan Sadoff, the defensive end, the junior. A little too jumpy, and that'll give a couple of yards over to the Dreadnoughts into Saline territory at the 49-yard line.
You jump once, Dexter's going to make you jump again. I'm sure Coach Jacobs is just going to keep doing this until they give us another free touchdown.
You know, I especially talked to Alan Sidoff, and he is a little bit jumpy, even especially if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing. But with that last play, that didn't run us so well.
Here's a give to Ronnie Johnson. Tries the right side, not out of room. He'll get a yard out to the 8. So that brings up 3rd down here and 5. The Dreadnoughts need the 43. Cooper Arnett motions Ronnie Johnson to left. Fakes to him. Quick step drop throw. 5-yard line to the 37. Hauled in by Jaden Juback, and it's a first down for the Dreadnoughts.
Cooper Arnett, solid quarterback for Dexter. I don't know that there's anyone else we would rather play at that position. And I was able to talk to him, and he was telling me he loves playing quarterback so much. He's able to control the game, play at his own pace, and he dominates at that position.
So ball near hash mark. They split 2 receivers out to the left. Cooper Arnett communicating with his offensive line. Dreadnoughts with a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10, inside the Saline 40. Here's a take, give, up the middle, Ronnie Johnson, nothing doing. No gain on the play, and that's just good, stout defense up front by this Hornets unit.
Princeton Jones, number 12, coming with an assist on the extra sack. I've seen a lot of good things from Princeton, even though he is entering his junior year next year. He has shown a lot of improvements just from being a sophomore and just transferring from the freshman team last season.
So 3 receivers to the left here for the Dreadnoughts. Arnett takes, fakes it, throws it over the middle, got his tight end. Niemi inside the 35-yard line down to the 34. So picking up a couple of yards out there, make that a much more manageable 3rd down coming up.
Isaiah Rodriguez was one of those who helped them bring it down 2 yards in to our 10-yard pace, and especially when he was coming in, I know that he likes to move around a bit. He wants to make sure that he can predict the moves, whatever wide receiver or running back comes at him, and he wants to make sure that they stop before it goes through.
3rd and 7. Here's a key. Ronnie Johnson up the middle.
Ronnie Johnson just never giving up. He'll take those 2-3 yard gains, and then he'll just spring a 15-yard gain right off you. You have to watch him.
It's a first down out to the 21-yard line. Fresh set of downs here for the Dreadnoughts. Looking for an equalizer. 13 seconds left here in the quarter. Saline up 14-7. Arnett gets everybody set up. Clock. They're going to run a play. Jay to an end. Dexter strikes first. Couple of quick scores by Saline. And the Hornets lead it 14-7. We'll take a break. It's the drive to the game here on WJR.
Experience the magic of the Michigan Renaissance Festival and journey.
Cooper, sometimes for, people like us, up-and-coming broadcasters, we have our podcast coming up, Cooper and Carter, SportsCaster Original. There might not be places for us to post, but now we just have this opportunity.
It makes me smile.
Now we have SportsCaster, and oh, what a lovely place it is.
Okay, now you're getting me excited.
I am, because now we can post our podcast. We can post little clips.
Of course.
We can voice over, professional plays going on in the sports world. We can connect with people like Detroit Lions play-by-play Dan Miller. I mean, the opportunities are just endless, and I absolutely love it.
I absolutely love it as well. Giving us an opportunity and experience that we only could have dreamed of. And now SportsCaster is giving it to us on a silver platter. That's what it does, and that's what it's here for. SportsCaster. We put the mic in your hands.
Let me ask you, when you're in the booth and you're calling the game, do you feel like it's just flowing and coming naturally to you?
Well, some days are better than others.
Of
Some
course.
games are better than others. Some flow better by themselves. Some days it just, anybody who's in broadcasting knows it doesn't come naturally all the time. Some days are better than others. And it's just a matter of being consistent and staying with it and remembering those principles that I said. The game is the thing. That don't ever forget. It's not about you. It's not about your color guy. It's about Michigan playing football. It's about the Lions playing football. That's what you're there for. And as long as you, I think, stay with that, keep true to yourself and your own personality.
Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Once again, Chris Renfro.
Good to have you back. Saline on top, 14-7 here to start the second quarter, joined by Noah Boyce of Dexter and Cody Stedman of Saline. And Dexter on the move. And that's going to keep it. And he's going to get taken down. That's a good tackle in the backfield. Really nice job. That'll be a loss here for Dexter. Bring up down.
Number 79, Michael Redder. He's such he makes sure stuff done. If there's a coverage that he sees, he finds his path, he shoves right into that O-line.
So big third down here, 3rd and 7 here for Dexter. Ronnie Johnson trying to communicate with the sideline. They finally get on the same page. High snap, Arnett able to hold it, throws it. What a catch, far side, threading the needle. Jaden Juback hauled it in on the near sideline. Heck of a job by Cooper Arnett to corral that high snap, able to set his feet, flip his shoulders, and deliver a strike.
You won't see many better hands than Jaden Juback.
Just dropped it into a bucket. So 1st and goal here inside the 10-yard line. Ball at the 6. Arnett takes little option. Trying the far side, trying to get the edge. Not going to get it. Ronnie Johnson, the ball carrier there. James Rush coming downhill quick to make the tackle.
That's what I said earlier in the game. A lot of these players played multiple positions, O-line and D-line. James Rush, even though he's a wide receiver, he's a heck of a lot good being a defensive back.
So 2nd down and goal. Ball inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Dexter looking for an answer. Arnett sends Jubeck in motion. Throws it to him. Ooh, little wide. Well covered there. Nice job by LaDainian Woods on the outside. Some pressure in Arnett's face, and he just couldn't find a hole. 3rd down coming up inside the 5.
Just last week, Dexter won 27-26 in overtime against Livonia Franklin. One of the worries coming into this week for many Dexter fans is how's that offensive line going to perform? We have Cameron Clark starting left tackle. He's got offers from everywhere you can think of. He's committed to Wisconsin. Let's see how Dexter's offensive line plays today.
Here's a give up the middle. Tripped up is Ronnie Johnson. He'll get to the 2-yard line, and it's 4th down. And once again, some decisions to make for this coaching staff. Phil Jacobs looks like he's going to keep his offense out there, maybe put a little extra beef on that line.
That might be a wrong card to play if they don't get past and get into the end zone. If they slide through, they get the touchdown. But if they don't, that's going to hurt back once it comes to the Saline line.
So here's the Wildcat spinning, trying to get to the end zone is Ronnie Johnson, and he's stacked up. Stacked up at the 5-yard line. It's going to be a loss and a turnover on downs.
Like I was saying, one of the worries is this offensive line, and it looks like Saline just cut right through. We brought 3 defensive players. We brought Mateo Kipke, Nathan Gersh, and Owen Wandrash all onto the field to try to block for Ronnie Johnson, and unfortunately we could not punch it in.
One of the people that took down Ronnie Johnson was Isaiah Harris, number 1, being a defensive end for this Saline D-line. And one of the things that he said as a goal is to sack the QB, and we saw that here in the 2nd quarter.
So now Saline, inside their own 5-yard line at the 4, will take over offensively. Tommy Carr goes under center. He's got Nate Walper behind him. Fakes, rolls, throws, looking, got a man. Out past the 15-yard line. LaDainian Woods hauls it in.
That was Jacob McDonnell on coverage. Last year, I was able to play with him, and he is such a fun guy to play with. Always giving as much effort as he can during practice, and he's really fun to watch on game days.
Meanwhile, offensively here, this Dexter offense getting some coaching up here. They're taking a look at some tape real time as the defense out on the field trying to stymie this Saline offense. Here's a give to Walper. Trying that left side. Positive yards out to the 18. Gain of 3. And bring up 2nd down. Nice job tracking down from this Dexter defense. Able to haul him down.
A name we've said a few times tonight, Nathan Gersh, one of the players on that tackle. Now, Nathan Gersh, I did not know this, but when he was younger, he didn't want to play linebacker. He wanted to play wide receiver. His freshman year, he came up to the team. Well, wide receiver was all covered, so he tried his chance at linebacker, and it is paying off. Dexter is loving him at linebacker.
Tommy Carr with trips to the left. And we got flags. A little bit of quick movement here. Offsides on Saline, so that'll move him back.
That's one of our weaknesses at SHS, being a Hornet. A lot of the calls we get is either offsides or false start. We pull a lot of those because we want to get moving. We want to get right through that D-line and get right down the 100-yard field. But at the same exact time, we have to watch our ends. Unless more calls like this would happen, we get pushed farther and farther back.
9:05 to play here in the first half. Saline up 14-7. Tommy Carr takes. Happy feet in the pockets. Got to scramble, keeping his eyes downfield. Throws. Got a man. That one is caught. Austin Abbott hauls it in. He's going to be shy of the first down. Ooh, maybe they're going to give it to him out to the 24-yard line. Yep, that'll be enough for a first down. Tommy Carr just extending the play, keeping his eyes on the field. Some Dexter Dreadnoughts defensively broke through the line, but he was able to scramble enough and find some space enough to deliver it to Abbott.
I think one of the plays for this game for Tommy is that if no other option works, go towards Austin. Austin will lead it right home and get us towards the goal. If more fallbacks like this, if he has to run back and then scramble to throw, that will be his only option.
1st and 10 at their own 24. One of the back tight ends. Big game announce.
One of the things I talked to Cole about was that he loves doing meditation before games. That just reminds me of JJ McCarthy. When he does his meditation, he makes sure that he's calm before the game starts. And I think Cruiser does the same exact thing here, but he makes sure that he gets through and gets stuff done.
Tommy Carr to the shotgun. Takes. Gives to Walper. Small hole there, but taken down nicely by Samuel Cormier. Inside the 50, out to the 46-yard line, so bring up 2nd down from there.
Sammy Cormier, Dexter's kicker. I grew up with him, and he's such a fun guy to be around, family friend of ours, and I seriously love watching him play on this varsity team.
Clock continues to tick, 7:45 to play here in the second quarter. Saline up by 7. Fakes it, throws it, across the middle, got a man inside Dexter territory. Hauled in by LaDainian Woods. Tackled by a whole host of Dreadnoughts defensively, including Grant Goodrich there.
If you want to talk about student athletes here at Saline High School, the first name someone's going to mention, LaDainian Woods. Most of his courses that he's currently taking right now, some core classes, but others fully towards athleticism, fully towards sports, with Coach Short most of the time, making sure that his athlete state is kept straight for each and every single game on Fridays.
First down, Tommy Carr calls for it, gets it, gives it. James Rush able to muscle over and then taken down inside the 40-yard line to the 37. Bring up 2nd down from there. And Saline not really in any rush here. They're getting their calls from the sidelines, just taking their time, letting this clock run. I think they feel like they're very much in command of this game.
Yeah, I think so. After holding the Dexter O-line down on the last play during this first or second quarter, I think they have pretty much good confidence for this play. They want to make sure to take their time and run it so they hold the game towards this end of the second quarter.
Faked it to Walper, throws, got his man. Once again, LaDainian Woods hauls it in, forced out of bounds at the 17-yard line, enough for a first down.
Dexter's defensive coordinator, George Mikos, I can see him kind of yelling things at Dexter's defense. I know he's probably not happy. Hopefully, he can get these boys back and playing well.
Box forward progress out of bounds, so 6:14 to play. Saline looking to add on to their lead. They're up 14-7. Dexter trying to everything they can defensively to stop it. Here comes a blitz. Picked up. Nope, out. Tommy Carr slipped. Walper was running across the field, and Tommy Carr able to slip out of one tackle and then delivered it to him for a big gain.
One of the things that I was going to mention that I know is last play, they were playing it safe. They were playing it a little bit cocky, and they just learned from their mistakes when Tommy almost got tackled. He had to get it off somehow to make sure they don't pull a pick six out of this second quarter.
So now inside the red zone here for the Hornets. They're going to spread it out. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Ball far hash mark. Tommy Carr calls for it. It's a keeper. Able to scramble out of it, find the left side, and into the end zone. Oh, my goodness. Tommy Carr disappeared into a sea of people and then able to find his way out on the left side and get into the end zone for 6.
I think that's some of the determination coming from Brighton. Some of that excitement that he's had for a while after winning that game against Brighton for week 1. And with week 2 gaining that extra touchdown, I think they're going into this game more than confident into the second half.
Extra point attempt here for Saline. Here's the snap. Good snap, good hold. Kicks up. We got whistles. Kick was good. There was a quick whistle there before the ball even flew through the uprights. And looks like it'll be good. Under 6 to play here in the half. Saline takes a 21-7 lead on Dexter. So now, no, let me ask you. What do you think this team needs to do here? What do you need to do?
Right now, Dexter's offense is kind of stalling out everywhere. If I had to choose just 1 or 2 things, I'd say get the ground game going. Ronnie Johnson is such a talented running back, and so if Saline overcommits on the run, go over top. We have so many good and talented wide receivers. Jaden Jubeck, Gabe Rickner, Cole Navarra, who took that opening kickoff almost for a touchdown. If we start passing to them and Cooper Arnett can lock in and find his targets, Dexter will have an easy time finding this end zone. We just need to stop making those mistakes.
So Costco tees it up here at the 40-yard line. Very short run up. Gets this one away. Going to be fielded at the 15-yard line. Coming back the other way. Nope, cuts it up middle. Finds some space and then taken down at the 30-yard line. It's a good tackle there. Hard tackle by Eli Johnson, the running back, linebacker player here for this special teams on Saline. And it brings up 1st down and 10 at the 31-yard line here for Dexter. And here comes Cooper Arnett and company.
Grant Goodrich was the one returning that last kick, and Grant did not start out as a DB/kick returner. Growing up, he was a quarterback. Unfortunately, last year, he got his starting job taken by Cooper Arnett, but he has been living it up at the defensive side of the ball.
Arnett takes, gives up the middle. Ronnie Johnson forward for 4 yards. Taken down by the heart of this Saline defense. So 2nd and 6 here for Dreadnoughts. Arnett with 2 receivers to the right. Ball splits the hash mark, takes, fakes, throws over the middle, got his man. Enough for a 1st down, shy of the 45-yard. They're going to say the ball's out. Saline says the ball's out. A Saline player has it. And the ref crew is going to talk about it. It looked like he was down to me.
That's exactly what I thought. Targeting Cole Navarra there, hoping for a play. It was a little bit behind him. I don't know. I think he was down.
Well, they're discussing it. They're gathering at the 43-yard line to talk about it. See what they saw. So they're going to say it was incomplete? Boy, it looked like he made a football move to me.
You can hear him. Dexter does not like that call. My student section right now kind of chanting at the refs, taunting them. They did not like that, and I'll say I didn't either.
Yeah. Some of the D-line players that I saw from that move was number 40, Tyler Parrish, and number 49, Aiden Burton. They have talked to me, and I've talked to them. They've been good friends of mine for the longest time. And it was just picked off by number 90, Alan Seidoff.
Arnett throws, and that one is picked off. Alan Seidoff really good eyes watching Arnett and able to pick it off. So a little bit of a disaster play there for Dexter, but we do have some laundry on the field back where Arnett is.
Arnett and company are staying on the field.
Yeah, the offense hasn't left. I'm wondering if this is going to be a roughing the passer play.
Dexter would be very lucky if it is.
That's exactly what it is, a roughing the passer play. So that'll nullify the interception from Alan Sadoff and give this offense a little bit more life as they push this thing down the field. Put it right at the 50-yard line.
Thank goodness. Dexter cannot afford to be making these mistakes. First, the muffed kick, and we definitely did not want that on our record.
5:03 to play here, first half. From this Dexter offense. Yeah, offensive. A quick jump here, so that'll move him back 5 yards to the 45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15 from there.
As I talked about before with this D-line, number 90, Alan Sidoff, he's been such a chill guy in class, but whenever he is on the field, he treats it like it's more than just a game. He's playing it with his life, and he wants to make sure every single play goes the way he wants to and pushes back the O-line as much as possible.
Two receivers right. Sends Ronnie Johnson in motion, and we've got whistles. Flag on the far side. And that'll move him back once again. So after that roughing the passer call, a couple of back-to-back offensive penalties move them back. It's going to be 1st and 20 from their own 40. Arnett calls for it, gets it, fakes it to Ronnie Johnson, throws, little bubble screen out to the right. That one's hauled in by holding him. 16.
Holden Niemi will be hopefully a big player in this game. He hasn't had much progress right now. He was injured week 1 against Livonia Franklin. So Dexter is glad to see him back and running. It does look like Saline did their homework. He has not had much play today.
So ball spotted at the 44. 2nd and 16. Clock continues to run. 4:20 to play here in the opening half. Arnett loads up and rips one. Past the 50-yard stripe. Hauled it in. Jaden Juback. And that makes this 3rd down at least somewhat manageable from what it was. It's going to be 3rd and 8 now from inside the Hornets territory at the 48.
Jaden Juback showing off those hands again. He is such a talented receiver.
Arnett took that snap. It was still a little high, a couple of high snaps today. But he's been able to haul him in. Here comes the rush. This one thrown incomplete. Good coverage on the far sideline. Alan Sadoff all over that one. Jaden Juback had no room and no time for Cooper Arnett. And here comes the punting unit.
Dexter's offensive line, such big group, such a talented group. Both of our tackles over 6'4". And right now, they're not playing as a team. Tanner Rinderknecht, our right tackle, played his sophomore year on varsity and went to a prep school in Massachusetts. This is his senior year now, and he's back playing with us. That might have to do with the chemistry.
So here's the run-up punt. And this is going to take a big Dreadnoughts bounce. Inside the 10, all the way down to the 5. That is a heck of a punt. Oliver Hutchinson put a foot on it, and that'll put Saline back at their own 5-yard line.
I love hanging out with Oliver. I don't know if I've ever had a class with him, but I see him in the hallways all the time. He's always smiling, hanging out with friends. He's such a good guy.
So a quick 3 and out would do the Dreadnoughts pretty good here. but Saline's been able to move the ball really well, whether they've had plus territory or here back in the shadow of their own end zone at the 5-yard line. Here comes Tommy Carr.
One of the players coming out of this O-line is Lincoln Keys. Again, they're planning on doing something special staying at this 5-yard line. Hopefully we get to see it in a few plays or two.
Carr takes the snap, throws it wide side. Got a man out to the flat. Little shake and bake at the 10, still on his feet. Out to the 13-yard line. That's good moves there by LaDainian Woods.
LaDainian Woods actually does plan on doing college in his future. One of the things that he plans on doing is going to possibly Georgia Tech and maybe even going to the NFL, bringing some of the talent through the SEC schools.
So second down. We'll call it 4. Carr takes, gives up the middle, big hole, and then hit hard. Charlie Pomo laid the shoulder. It's enough for a first down. Hard run, hard hit. Good play.
Charlie Pomo, number 10, is playing out there with a cast on his arm. I believe last week he suffered an injury. He got cleared by the doctor to play with a pillow on his right arm, though. It will not bring him down. He will continue to be a dominating force on this defense.
Under 2:20 to play. Saline up 21-7. Big play across the middle. Finally taken down. Nice little streaker, little post in. Austin Abbott hauled it in, but we do have a flag on the far side. Nathan Gersh made the tackle.
Just from that play, we can see the inspiration that I was just talking about in the first quarter with Austin Abbott. Most of his inspiration comes from his father, and I'm sure every single time he plays, he thinks of him. But sadly, it looks like it's getting called back.
Yep, legal man downfield, so that'll get called back. They'll spot it at the 12-yard line, so it'll be first down from there.
Dexter had a few penalties that last drive, a few false starts, but right now, Dexter's been playing a lot more sound than Saline. Saline's had a lot of penalties every single drive. Unfortunately, playing sound isn't going to win them any football games. Playing back, we have to start playing more aggressive.
Exactly. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with Saline, and they always get cocky.
Here's Carr, throws that one incomplete. He got absolutely bull rushed up the middle. Chance Sobry was there and knocked it, and it went enough to force Tommy Carr to get rid of it. He didn't want to get rid of it, but he had to, and it falls to the turf, incomplete, second down.
I asked Chance Sobry what he thinks his future will look like, and everyone at Dexter knows he's committed to play baseball at a D1 college in Georgia. So football won't be on his future, but you will be able to see him playing baseball.
So that'll be a timeout here for Saline. I want to talk this over. 1:49 to play. And I think from Saline's perspective, you're still trying to get points here.
Yeah, we're still trying to get points here, but I see especially from Coach Brian Short, he is seeing what is going on the O-line, and he's not liking it. Even though we are 14 points up, he's seeing that the team's getting cocky. The team is losing stuff. The fact that Tommy Carr had to throw the ball out in order to get rid of a pick six and a fumble, they have to pull something off in order to get back to the 50-yard line or maybe even Dexter's own 20.
Defensively, though, Dexter really tightening down here deep in the Saline territory.
Looks like it. A penalty by Saline kind of kept him back there after a big play, but Dexter's playing aggressive a little bit. Some big names on the defense. Nathan Gersh, Owen Wandrash, Grant Goodrich. Hopefully these guys can step up.
So second down and long here for Tommy Carr in the shotgun. Takes, gives, up the middle. Good pad level there by Nate Walper, just lowering it, getting out to the 20-yard line. It's a good run. Get out of the deep in your zone. Give you a shot here at 3rd down and 7. 1:25 to play. Clock continues to run. Carr sends a man in motion. That's LaDainian Woods. Takes the snap. Looks, throws, got his man at the 30-yard line. Taken down. Austin Abbott on the reception. It's enough for a first down. Chains move. Clock continues to run. 1:08 to play here in the half. Saline's got to set quick. They do. To the shotgun. Carr calls for it. Feels some pressure. Rolls out of the pocket. Eyes down the field. Throws over the middle. Got a man. Into Dreadnought territory inside the 40. Clock continues to run at 51 seconds. They'll spot it. They'll set the sticks. And that clock runs. Lincoln Keys hauled that one in. Carr throws quick over the middle. LaDainian Woods there to grab it, but quickly tackled.
One of the big things Dexter prides himself on in their football team is their conditioning. Every practice, Jacobs talks about playing the fourth quarter as hard as you can. I know it's the first half, but Saline running a little bit of tempo there. Dexter showing that they're not tired. These boys put in that work during offseason to make sure they're just as conditioned or even more conditioned than the team across them.
So it's a gain of 3. Saline will take the timeout. They'll stop the clock with 35 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Saline leads at 21-7. Dexter just trying to stop the bleeding really until the half. Couple of good plays, though, here from Tommy Carr, able to scramble, escape some pressure inside the pocket, good pocket awareness, and keeping his eyes down the field, finding a couple of big-time receivers for big-time gains.
Especially with the Saline O-line, we've seen a lot from Nate Walper this go-around. Even though he's not a starter, we've seen so many progressions, so much plays to get him through and read the coverage. No matter where he is, Tommy finds him, Tommy throws to him, and I'm seriously thinking Nate Walper might be starter for week 3.
He's staying in the game at running back now. So 2nd down and 7 after the gain of 3. Saline with 1 timeout left. They lead at 21-7. Tommy Carr calls for it, gets it, pushes it down the field, incomplete. That was a little wide for Lincoln Keys. And as a matter of fact, some good coverage there down the field, and almost looked like Jacob McDonald had a shot at that ball.
Almost, I think a little bit wider, and he probably could have made a play on the ball. He just dove down trying to take out the ankles of that receiver there.
So clock stops on the incompletion, 29 seconds left. It's 3rd and 7.
Stress is starting to set in for the Saline offensive. It's 29 seconds left. They want to get more. They want to push points on them, but also it's only the second quarter. They don't have to rush it.
LaDainian Woods in motion. Here's a screen. Walper's got it. Slips initially, regains his balance, and then taken down. Shoestring tackle inside the 30-yard line. It's enough for a first down.
Dexter has not gotten much pressure on Tommy Carr tonight. Just for a second there, I think I saw a linebacker blitzing, and I thought we got to him. Unfortunately, it was a screen pass right over our heads.
So they'll spot it at the 25-yard line. 22 seconds left to play. The Saline student section across the way getting hype. 2 receivers right. LaDainian Woods in motion left to right. Carr calls for it. Looking to the right, getting pressure, rolling out. Throws it over the top, incomplete. Looking for LaDainian Woods. But just a little too much juice on that. Looked like Connor Robeson had an opportunity at that one too.
Big tradition at Dexter. Every time you get a turnover, there is a gong on the sideline waiting for you. You pick that ball off, you get fumble recovery, you go over there and you slam that gong with the mallet. Student section goes crazy. Connor Robeson looking for a gong tonight. Unfortunately, it hit the ground before it got to him.
So 15 seconds left now here in the quarter. Here in the half. Saline looking for more points. 3 receivers to the right. Ball, far hash mark. Tommy Carr takes. Pressure from the backside. He's got Keys over the middle to the 10-yard line. Timeout. Saline will stop the clock with 8 seconds left.
That's the perfect time to stop, even with this offensive line. Even though they have 8 seconds left, they have close to enough yards to get down there, get another touchdown, and make sure that we set our dominance in this second year of playing Dexter.
I think from a Dreadnought's perspective at this point, if you keep them out of the end zone, it's a win. It probably doesn't feel great. You don't want to give up points before the half, but 24-7 looks a lot different than 28-7.
Definitely. I know that Dexter's going to go into the locker room for halftime, and one of the main points Jacobs is going to talk about before he lets the players think is keeping this defense strong. If this Saline offense is going to run on us all night, that's going to be a loss. So hopefully these guys coming out of the second half after they stop Saline can switch it up, play them a little bit more aggressively, start things rolling.
So 8 seconds left. Saline looking for points. They're at the Dreadnoughts 10-yard line. They lead it 21-7. Tommy Carr takes. Looking left, nothing there. Now rolling right, throwing incomplete.
And there
2 seconds left on the clock. 1 second left on the clock. But the ball falls incomplete, so the clock will stop. 1 second left. And now the field goal unit comes out. It looked like Tommy Carr wanted Lincoln Keys. He had one-on-one coverage on the far side, but it was really well covered. So he came back to the right and threw that one wide to the turf.
I think one of the plays with Dexter tonight is that they don't want to get more points ahead that they can shoot. Isn't that right, Noah?
Yeah, that's right. Honestly, here, hopefully Costco pulls it a little wide. We'll see.
Here's the last play of the half. Good snap, good hold. Kicks up, and the kick is good. So as we end the first half here in Dexter, Saline take a 24-7 lead in a big game for two really good programs here in the state of Michigan. It's the drive to the game here on WJR. We'll take a break. It's halftime. Come get you ready for second half action coming up.
It's time to think forward first.
This is SportsCaster.com.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
It's Messi. It's his tournament. Is it written in the stars?
They hand it off. Haskins following his block. Haskins, touchdown!
This is your time.
Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports?
New York Knicks fans were at the Barclays Center booing because we recognize that we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Want to be the next great voice in sports? SportsCaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. A great sports broadcaster is able to capture the action.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Amplify the drama.
To the end zone. Touchdown Detroit Lions. Oh my!
And create memories forever etched in our minds.
A year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Sends shivers up our spine, make us leap out of our seat, scream at the TV, and even ask ourselves, did that really just happen?
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Now it's your turn to let your voice be heard. SportsCaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, including access to the most exciting sports highlight clips. Create your own sports talk show, stir it up with sports commentary, and even take a shot at live play-by-play. Whether young or old, new to sportscasting, or a seasoned voice in sports, just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. SportsCaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands and put you in the center of the action.
Drive to the Game is sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Now, for hometown halftime coverage, here's Chris Rapp.
All right, welcome back. Halftime, Dexter and Saline, big rivalry game. But, you know, we've seen the level of high school football take a huge step up here in the state of Michigan. And, of course, nobody knows that better than the head of the MHSAA, Mark Ewell, who joins me here at halftime. Mark, it's great to have you.
Great to be with you.
We have seen the level, the competitiveness of football here in the state really skyrocket over the last 10, 15 years or so. And it's not just in the Metro Detroit area. It's out west. It's up north. What do you attribute this level increase to, do you think?
You know what? I think there's a lot of factors. I think the level of coaching in our state has never been better. I really think that success in life really does start with leadership. And if you look at some of the leadership in some of our top football programs, we are generating a lot of kids. Detroit has always been part of the state where they a lot of kids get opportunities at the next level. A lot of those kids that came for high school in the area, even playing on Sundays, which has been great to see. But you're now seeing other kids in other parts of our state getting for a while. I played football player right now. Level. Never been better, and I'll also add that I don't think that talent pool has ever been better. So it's really a credit to coaches. I think with now focus with out of season strength and conditioning, they're doing with the club experiences with 7-on-7 and some of the exposure camps that kids can go to during the spring and summer. I think football coaches all across the country, and my own middle son is currently starting at linebacker at a school in West Conference, Colorado. I think football coaches around the country have realized that Michigan is really a hotbed when it comes to
well, and of course, you do have to have that element at home, that commitment to a pretty rigorous schedule when you consider all of the academics, all of the schooling that these kids need to still focus on. The parents and the level of participation from parents of the state.
No, that.
So what we're doing with SportsCaster.com is we're giving people a platform, a community, all focused on sports broadcasting, whether it be a podcast, a piece of commentary, stirring it up with the other guys, the Michigan, Ohio State fans getting together on a particular issue and really going at it, whatever it may be, or a live play-by-play opportunity. People can go there, subscribe to the channels, enjoy their favorite sports broadcasters and their commentary and their content. And it's a great way for people to learn and hone their craft before they go out and, do it at the NFL or the college level.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I truly do. And it's going to help broadcasters. You asked me earlier, what should a young broadcaster do to get started? Exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Find a way to get on that sportscaster.com, get on that high school broadcast. And when you do, tape it so that you have an audition tape that you can send to some other outlet, wherever it is, and say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I've done before. Like actors send out lists of credits. Yep. This is a movie I've done before. This is a voiceover I've done before. Same thing with sportscaster.com. Get on that broadcast, find a way and do it, and then tape it. And then send it along so that someone else gets an opportunity. Who knows? You may get hired, and you're not just 1 week; you're 10 weeks in a row. And that's how you do it. It's hard. It doesn't pay a lot of money, but if you're really committed and you really want to do it, hopefully, there's nothing more rewarding. There's one of those things I tell people. I said, if you have a job you love, you don't work a day in your life. Yeah. Well, I'm guilty.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what being a sports broadcaster, especially in play-by-play, I was very, very lucky to do that. But it starts out hard, but once you get there, it's very rewarding.
All right, welcome to our halftime show here. Beautiful Dexter versus Saline. Good game, great game. Michael Spath here with me.
Yeah, I mean, Saline has some bragging rights right now. They're up 24-7. We'll certainly talk football after the game in our post-game show. But Jeff, we want to, we talk about community all the time, and there is nobody greater than a couple of guys that are joining us tonight. Two local State Farm agents who are all about community.
Absolutely.
So I'll let you introduce them.
Isaac Cicero from Dexter.
Yes,
welcome to the halftime show. And Ben Torres from Saline. You both got agencies. You guys are both State Farm agents sponsoring tonight's show, tonight's broadcast, but also obviously here to support your communities as well.
Yes.
Good to have you guys.
Thanks for having me.
So, Isaac, let's start with you here in Dexter. You just moved in the area about a year and a half ago, opened up your own agency. What are you finding? What are you enjoying about the Dexter community so far? And why is it important for you as a Start Farm agent here to support this community?
Yeah. So I'm from a small town. I'm from mid-Michigan, so I really connect well with that small town feel. And you really get that here in Dexter. I always tell, people from back home, oh, man, they got the cutest, downtown area. It's kind of like a Hallmark movie.
And it's true.
Yeah. But, everyone's welcomed, me and the rest of the team and my wife with, open arms. Just being involved in the communities is super important, and everyone's just super friendly. I mean, the other business owners were part of the chamber. We did the Dexter Summerfest. So there's always opportunities here to get involved. So we really connect with that small town feel that Dexter brings. So.
And this is how long have you been here?
So we've been here about a year and a half now. But none of my team members are from the area, but we get out, we'll go walk around downtown, we go to the coffee shop, local restaurants, local pub, all that good stuff.
And this is a big-time growing community. It's a suburb of Ann Arbor, and so it has really risen in the last 10 years. Beautiful high school, and I know that one of State Farm's big things is, personal lines, home, auto, and so how do you take care of your clients here in this community?
Yeah, so a lot of the time, we have a lot of competitors, they do crazy marketing. We do a lot of marketing too, but with us, you really get that personalized service. There's a lot going on in the industry, a lot of price changes, a lot of movement with rates, and we have that proactive approach where we don't ignore it. One of the things you're never going to hear, whether it's my office or Ben's office, is we're never going to say, well, there's nothing we can do. There's always something we can do. And we have a process to kind of take that head on and do all we can to help our clients and customers out. So, yeah, auto, home, life, health, investment planning, we're both registered reps, so we can do just about anything in the protection space, but also helping people accumulate, and plan for retirement as well.
Ben, we were talking about, you've got some children, I've got some children, and Isaac just mentioned life insurance. I mean, that's a big part of what State Farm does, and it's a complicated space to understand. And so I really appreciate when you guys make you had a tagline. I'm not going to steal your tagline, but tell us about how you make everything a little bit easier for the client.
I'm glad you brought that up, because insurance can be very complicated, and that tagline is insurance is complicated, we make it simple.
Love it. Right.
But you can buy insurance off an 1-800 number, you can buy it over the phone, but without that personal touch, without that expert on your side, and my team and I are very good, and Isaac too, at explaining it. I tell my team all the time, the number one thing we do is educate the people, right? And that's important, because these are the communities we live in. I mean, I grew up in Saline. I've been there all my life, and I tell people all the time, this is an industry where the relationships you build really last for generations, right? And it's different than any other industry you can think of. So we're really proud of the connections we make and the ability to help people, recover from the unexpected.
So you're saying that better to talk to a human than a lizard?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I didn't say it, but I'll take it.
I said it. I'm going to get the lawsuit. So you live in Saline. You have the Saline agency, Saline 24/7 right now. Yeah. What do you love about the Saline community?
I mean, what can I say about Saline? They have the Summer Fest. It's just such a cool little city. Oktoberfest. The downtown's vibrant, great restaurants, but it's just the community. Like, they come together, and they're just tight-knit. And just like this game, they don't give up. Like, Saline was down a little bit in the beginning, and they did not let that stop them. They just marched right down the field after that. So I feel that's representative of the whole community. Like, they're just a tight-knit community.
Well, I mean, it's a road game, and they've got at least a couple hundred, and the student section for Saline is packed. So you're right, they support the community. They follow everywhere that they go, and so we'll see how this game goes. You've got bragging rights right now, Isaac.
Yeah,
I feel like Dexter could get themselves back in this one. There was a key play, which we'll get into a little bit later on in the post game. But really appreciate you guys both coming out. How do people reach you if they want to know more about the Ben Torres or the Isaac Saucedo? Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Saucedo agency. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can call us. You can look us up, isaacinsures.com. Social media is great. We're all over LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. isaacinsures.com. You can get a hold of us through text, call, or DM us.
Yep, and bentorresagent.com. I mean, Google us. Our names will come up. Like, we spend a lot of time getting our name out there. So
that's really great. Hey, listen, not only are you guys here to support the teams, but you're also here to support the student broadcasters that are up in the booth, calling the game, providing commentary, making this a really great experience, and really cutting to the essence of what SportsCaster.com is all about. Listen, we've got Noah Boyce from Dexter up in the booth, Cody Stedman from Saline, Cameron Abello, and Isabella Rain Douglas from Saline as well, doing a great job. All right, that's going to do it for us, guys. We're going to throw it back right after this break to Chris Renwick back in the booth.
Cooper, sometimes for, people like us, up-and-coming broadcasters, we have our podcast coming up, Cooper and Carter, SportsCaster Original. There might not be places for us to post, but now we just have this opportunity.
It makes me smile.
Now we have SportsCaster, and oh, what a lovely place it is.
Okay, now you're getting me excited.
I am, because now we can post our podcast.
Sure.
We can post little clips.
Of course.
We can voice over, professional plays going on in the sports world. We can connect with people like Detroit Lions play-by-play Dan Miller. I mean, the opportunities are just endless, and I absolutely love it.
I absolutely love it as well. Giving us an opportunity and experience that we only could have dreamed of. And now SportsCaster is giving it to us on a silver platter. That's what it does, and that's what it's here for. SportsCaster. We put the mic in your hands.
Let me ask you, when you're in the booth and you're calling the game, do you feel like it's just flowing and coming naturally to you?
Well, some days are better than others.
Of
some
course.
games are better than others. Some flow better by themselves. Some days it just, hey, anybody who's in broadcasting knows it doesn't come naturally all the time. Some days are better than others. And it's just a matter of being consistent and staying with it and remembering those principles that I said. The game is the thing. That don't ever forget. It's not about you. It's not about your color guy. It's about Michigan playing football. It's about the Lions playing football. That's what you're there for. And as long as you, I think, stay with that, keep true to yourself and your own personality, I think you'll be fine. And everybody makes mistakes. Don't stop and think, oh, my God, it's a terrible day. You just got to fight through the tough spots and make sure you turn maybe a tough day into one.
You're getting the only high school football game coverage in Southeast Michigan you need. The Drive to the Game. Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Once again, Chris Renwick.
Welcome back to our Drive to the Game. Second half action coming up here from Al Ritt Stadium in Dexter as the Dreadnoughts looking to fight back. Both these teams undefeated, 1-0 to start their season. And a long uphill climb here for Dexter, but for Saline, doing a lot of the same. And they're going to get the ball here to start the second half. Chris Renwick with you. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. Also, Noah Boyce from Dexter joining me. Also, Cody Stedman here with Saline, tapped out. And we've got a new member of the Saline Hornets with us. Cam Abello joins me, the senior. Hello, good to have you.
Good to have you.
Good
to be here.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. You got to like what you saw here from your Hornets in the first half.
I was down there on the sidelines first half. I was having so much fun. It's a completely different experience down there.
So here's the kickoff. This one fielded at the 2-yard line, coming back the other way. Spun around and then taken down at the 22-yard line. So good return there. And that'll put Saline with a 1st and 10 from their own 22.
This half, Dexter's going to have to make some plays, especially on that defensive side. We saw Saline kind of drive down. They had 4 scoring drives last half. So Dexter's going to have to either tighten up and play better coverage because Tommy's been slowing down, and apply some heat, bring him down.
Yeah, he's been very effective. Had a very good first half, Tommy Carr did, and now they get back to business offensively. The Hornets, 1st and 10 from the 22. Here's snap. Gives it out to the flat. He's got Lincoln Keys. Cuts it upfield, runs through one tackle, and then gang tackled at the 32-yard line. He is a load, a guy who obviously has a ton of offers and interest. Mentioned it earlier, but a 6'6" tight end who got offers from some of the biggest schools in the country, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. He's a load to bring down and is a serious weapon for this Saline offense. So ball near hash mark. Saline moving left to right, and they're all whites. 3 receivers to the left. Here's the take. Up the middle. That's Nolan Klein taking the Wildcat snap there. He's the backup to Tommy Carr. So Carr gets a spell. And he checks back in the game.
Dexter playing a little bit better this half. I mean, it's early, but that was a nice little stop there. Tommy taking it himself. We really didn't see that a whole lot the first half. Tommy had 1 rushing touchdown, but look, Dexter's going to try to stop that. We had some guys setting the edge and filling in there. I like a good new game plan.
So the Dreadnoughts faithful getting loud. It's a big 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Dexter wanting to get off the field on this drive. Tommy Carr takes, gives, cuts it upfield, and then taken down. James Rush with a cut, and then north-south he went, enough for a 1st down to the 34-yard line. And that's just trusting your guys up front. That offensive line able to push just enough to spring James Rush. Saline on top, 24-7. Early 3rd quarter. Ball splits the hash marks. Tommy Carr in the shotgun takes. Gives. James Rush once again with a hole up the middle. Breaking tackle, still on his feet, into Dreadnought territory. Taken down at the 41-yard line. Big run for James Rush.
I mean, you kind of expect that kind of play from someone who's been playing flag since 5 years old. I mean, he has tons of experience. He's graduating in 2026, so he's what, 16? That's 11 years of football. You got to expect something like that.
Good blocking up front, too, certainly by this offensive line. In particular, the interior has done a really nice job, I thought, tonight through the first half and now early here in the third quarter. Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 inside Dreadnought territory. Tommy Carr calls for it, gets it. This one a little too light. He was looking out to the edge. Jaden Leonard was the intended target, but couldn't rocket it to him. So it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Jack Saylor, the outside linebacker, kind of coming in on that screen pass. I have never met, besides myself, a bigger Lions fan. I talk to him every single Sunday, every time the Lions play, about their game, how they play.
Here's Carr. Gives, trying the left side. Nate Walper on the carry, picking up 2 inside the 40 to the 39-yard line before he's taken down. So it brings up 3rd and 8 here. And once again, an opportunity here for this Dexter defense to force a decision here by the Hornets. 8:40 to play here in the third. Big 3rd down. Dreadnoughts faithful getting loud. Tommy Carr calls for it. Slings it. Got a man. Inside the 30, still on his feet, trucking players over out to the 20-yard line. Cole Cruiser cruising to a big game.
Connor Robeson on the tackle, another player on this defense that kind of switched around positions. He played running back last year a little bit and then decided, you know what, the team needs a little help at DB. He stayed there, and he's starting at DB tonight. He had a nice little tackle after a big gain there.
Obviously, Lincoln Keys gets a ton of attention offensively here for Saline, but they've got weapons all across the board. Cole Cruiser, one of them. Carr takes, slings it, cross field. Got his man, that's Leonard. Just a little twirl at the 15 and then taken down. Good pursuit there by Owen Wandrash, coming up from behind the play to make the tackle. So Walper will get a spell. James Rush comes back in offensively for Saline. He'll be in the backfield with Tommy Carr as they get the call from the sideline. First and goal from inside the 10 at the 5-yard line. Rush in the backfield. Carr calls for it. Gives it to him. Dancing around inside the 5. An extra push near the goal line. He's going to be taken down short at the 1. Gain of 4. But it's 2nd and goal and 1.
Number 77, Tanner Rinderkin, offensive tackle, coming into the game. It looks like we're going to need a little bit more meat on this defensive line. I have not seen that out of him before.
Yeah, maybe just wanting a big body up there to fill a hole. And again, Saline not in any rush. They're up 24-7. 7 minutes to play here in the third. They are knocking on the door for more.
From my personal experience, this is when Saline shines. Every time. 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, they're up by a little bit, maybe 2, 3 touchdowns.
Here's a give. Nate Walper dives for the end zone. Looks like he's going to be short. Right near the goal line at about the 1. So he goes out. James Rush comes back in. You're right. Traditionally, Cam, once they get down towards the goal line, they are very effective. And now we're going to get a timeout here. Saline wants to talk it over. 6:24 to play here in the third quarter. Saline up 24-7, looking for more points. Again, big third down. Give yourself an opportunity here. If Dexter can stop them here, you likely force a field goal. Again, it's not what you want. You don't want to be giving up points this late in the third quarter, but at the same time, again, it beats the heck out of 6.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take 3 over 6. I mean, they're at the half-yard line, so a stop here would be incredible. Hopefully these boys can muster up a little bit of strength and push this offensive line back.
So Rinderknecht is staying in the game, so he'll go to like the nose position. So he's right in the middle of that defensive line. A lot of beef up front. Here's the give. Up the middle. Did he get in? Yes,
That's
touchdown. Touchdown, Hornets. Nate Wolper gets into the end zone from a yard out and expands Saline's lead. It's 30-7.
Yeah, that Nate Walper, he's some guy. I've been playing with him for 5-6 years. Always been a running back. Always an idol of mine. I was running back for a couple of years. I always looked up to him. He's just so good at the position, and he knows what he's doing.
And you played a little linebacker too, right?
I did, yes.
What position did you like more?
I liked linebacker. I liked hitting people.
You'd like delivering the hit as opposed to taking one.
Yes, sir.
All right, here's the extra point attempt. Up. And
That's Costco
good.
for you.
Very reliable, very steady. Good on the delivery, good snap, good hold. Saline expands their lead 31-7 now, 6:19 to play. Dexter, I think at this point, you got to go down and put points on the board. And maybe you don't even think of it that broadly. Maybe it's get a first down, get another first down, take it a play-by-play, a possession-by-possession, series-by-series, and just connect some of these drives together.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Saline's beating the heck out of the clock, and you don't want to take small little plays. You want to have big plays to go down the field and score suddenly. If Saline stops you, you've lost all momentum. Right now is the time to get back at the game and show that you are still alive. Hopefully, a good return will set up an even better drive and a dreadnought touchdown.
So Costco's going to tee this one up from the 40. So Saline's got a Costco. What does Dexter have? Best name on the team.
Best nickname on the team. I need to. Ooh, you might have to come back to me.
We'll come back to you. There's no pressure. We got a lot of game left here.
I mean, hey, we don't just have Costco. Even though he is a great kicker, we got Pickles. He's a great.
Fielded inside the 20. Bennett Pickles, your right tackle, your starting right tackle, also is in that category of named this game. So Dexter starts this thing at their own 32-yard line. I mean, I think it would. I mean, we really should have a Sam's at least on the Dexter side of things, just to even things out a little bit.
I know. I guess Dexter's not very. Our strength and conditioning coach, Chris Whitaker, likes to give them out. We have one kid named Genie, Jacob McDonnell.
That's pretty good.
It's a good one.
That's pretty good. Arnett running. Finds his man. Hauls it in. Holden Niemi. Positive yards. Gain of, we'll call it 4, out to the 36-yard line. Bring up second down. Nice job by Arnett there, just keeping his eye down the field. He had pressure up the middle, but able to escape to his right and deliver a strike.
Hopefully Arnett plays a little bit better in this second half. He likes to start out the game by reading the play scripts, going through and making sure he's mentally prepared.
Here's a screen, Niemi up the middle. That's just a really good tackle. Bryce Barberino came up, delivered the first hit, and never let him go. That's a good tackle on a big-time player.
We're starting to see some setup for hopefully some bigger plays. Screenplay there for Holden Niemi. I mean, really, we need to start looking to some stars. I know Cole Navarra hasn't got much attention this game. Holden Niemi's starting to, but right now, Saline's kind of keeping all that up. Hopefully Coach Jacobs can figure out a play that just sets this defense on fire, puts puts this offense into the end zone. Let's see how risky he becomes starting this quarter.
Defensive end Alan Sadoff just a little slow to get up, but he's able to jog off under his own power, so that's good to see. So Dexter continues to huddle here on their near sideline. Clock will run, 5:19 to play here in the third. Dexter desperately looking for points, needing points on almost every possession going forward. They've got the ball. Big third down. Arnett takes, slings it to the side. Little curl up the far sideline. Cole Navarra on the reception, good for a first down. There's your guy.
What I say, look for the stars. If Holden Niemi isn't getting those big plays, if Ronnie Johnson isn't getting past that O-line, we have some really talented wide receivers. Cole Navarra, just one of them. He's been playing football since he was 7. Maybe 4th grade, he said, he started tackle football, and he's been playing ever since.
Jaden Jubak's another guy we've called a lot tonight, who's had a couple of really nice catches, big plays. Here's the option. Cuts it upfield. Makes a man miss and then take it out inside Saline territory. Nice little run. Cole Navarro once again. He's been their spark plug all throughout this game.
Cole Navarra, there you go. I'm telling you. Get this guy a little bit of window dress and sneak him around. He's not the biggest guy. When he was younger, he played quarterback, and one of his best memories was playing football, his dad being the coach, being the smallest kid on the team, and leading his team to wins as the smallest guy.
He's in the slot, but this time Arnett goes down. Alan Sadoff with a big sack. That'll back him up back to their own territory. Spotted at the 47-yard line. That'll put him in quite a hole.
I can see Coach Jacobs holding his head down. I wouldn't be surprised if he smashed a headset by the end of this game. He's not very happy with the way this offensive line is playing.
Second down and long. Here's a give. Delayed handoff. Ronnie Johnson. Little shake and bake near sideline. Gets ridden out of bounds. Princeton Jones on the tackle. Gets back some of those yards lost. It'll be 3rd and 12. Back inside Hornets territory. A big third down here. Movement there. And the referee got him. Little jumpy Jericho Poe. And that'll give Dexter 5 yards. Make this a 3rd and 7. Dexter down 31-7, 3:24 to play here in the third.
That's 5 yards in the right direction. We've seen all night. Saline's been pretty jumpy at the line, both offensively and defensively. Giving Dexter some opportunities.
2 receivers right. Arnett tries the hard count, a whole bunch of movement. I'm not sure his center heard it.
Yeah, either Trevor Jankovic just didn't hear the call or everyone else went on the wrong count.
Right. Either way, it's not ideal. Now you're moving back the other way, the wrong way.
Going in circles.
For Dexter. So 3rd and 12 here.
On Dexter's offensive line is impressive to me. Tanner Rinderknecht, Cameron Clark, and Owen Winder. Some of the biggest guys I have ever just been around. And, I mean, hopefully these guys can figure out what's going on because you've got the size. I know you've got the talent. Get a little piece of the shoulder pad, and you'll block them. Like, Saline's guys are big, but they're not as big as our offensive line. Hopefully they can get something going here.
So we got a lot of people here. Lots of people. Obviously, the Dexter faithful coming out in a strong force. Saline on the visitor side, also with a lot of folks. You got to feed all these people. What do we got at the concession stand tonight?
Tonight at the concessions, I can see the Kona Ice trailer.
All right.
I can see a huge line, and I know in the concessions there's Classic Pizza Offered, a local pizza chain in Dexter. I mean, some people say it's the worst Me personally,
The worst?
the worst.
It cannot be the worst.
Personally,
I've had terrible pizza.
Personally, I think that classic pizza is some of the best pizza you'll ever have.
There's no such thing as bad pizza.
Exactly.
Arnett steps up, avoided some pressure, and then gets taken down there. Isaiah Harris, the defensive end for Saline, to take him down. So the two bookend defensive ends making big plays on this drive, and it's 4th down. And I think rightly so, Dexter's going to have to punt it away.
Oliver Hutchinson coming on to punt. He had a really good punt last time.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do that again. Dexter really likes using the rugby kind of punt where grabs the ball, takes a few steps right, sees if there's an opening, and then he kicks it deep. Oliver likes to kind of get it back there and have it roll so that the speed on the outside can cover it.
It gives him an opportunity to take a couple extra steps. If he's got some room, he'll take a couple extra steps as this one bounces out near the 20-yard line.
Not a Dexter bounce there. Would have liked to see that roll another 10, 15 yards, but oh well.
So 2:35 to play here in the third quarter. Dexter finds himself in a bit of a hole, 31-7. And I think from Saline's perspective, Cam, they've done a really nice job, right? They've capitalized when they've had the opportunity. They've capitalized on a couple of mistakes. And now, again, time is on their side. So I guess I'm curious to know what you think, being in those huddles, being in these situations, what's the game plan here for this offense?
So from what I see, all we're trying to do on defense, trying to get them, trying to hold them strong. But now on offense, we're really strong with our wide receivers, as we have seen in this game.
Here's a give to the up man. Isaiah Harris on the carry there, who just made a sack.
And that's his goal, hoping to get 13 sacks this year. He's been playing varsity since a freshman year.
A good player coming off the edge to carry the football, too. So fresh set of downs out to the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from there.
Tommy Carr's been playing impressive. At the half, he was 14 for 17 with 172 yards. Now, not to brag, my sophomore year, I was playing outside linebacker, JV game at Saline. I picked off I picked him off, took it back for a little, couldn't bring it back for a touchdown, but obviously Tommy has improved since.
No, it's on the resume.
It is.
It's on the resume. That's all that matters. Give up the middle, gain of 2.
I can't say I'll be recruited to some D1 school for that. I mean, maybe he becomes the best quarterback in the state. Maybe that, but
I don't think you need to. I think you're selling yourself short. I think you need to call every college in the state of Michigan and tell them about this. This is awesome.
Yeah, hey, University of Michigan, Michigan State.
That's right.
Lloyd Carr's grandson, CJ Carr's brother. I picked him off, all right? Let's get the recruits going. Come on.
And we got flags. The setup. A little bit of a twitch there, I think, from Saline. This will back him up.
I don't know whether it's Saline's O-line being real jumpy or if it's just guys like Chance Sobry, Mateo Kipke being real dominating and real scary. They might be scared of him, taking a few steps back before the ball snapped. They are pretty scary. They got a little height, a little weight on them. They're scary.
Yeah, it might be scary, but it's like running into a brick wall. I've played against these people. I've played on defense. It is very hard to get through.
2nd down and 13. Carr. 3-step drop, getting pressured, rolling, slipping out of a tackle. Finds his safety valve in James Rush. Be a good gain of about 8 out to the 41-yard line. So bring up 3rd down and 4. Good positive play for this offense. And Dexter they got to get off the field here. They got to make a big stop here on 3rd down. Clock continues to run. 20 seconds left here in the quarter.
Owen Wandrash chasing Tommy that last play. I have never met a tougher guy than Owen Wandrash. The grit he has is immense.
3rd and 4. Carr takes, gives, up the middle. Big run, still going, far sideline on the 30 to the 20. And then finally taken down, Nate Wolper. Gaping hole up the middle. Cuts it out to the right. down the sideline, and that's how the third quarter comes to an end. It'll be a 1st and 10 inside the 20 for the Hornets, who lead it 31-7 over the Dreadnoughts. We'll take a break. It's the drive for the game here on WJR.
This is SportsCaster.com. Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? SportsCaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true.
Who was like one of your favorite players growing up?
Growing up, my favorite player was Devin Hester from the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. Are you able to give us a little hint on what your draft day fit will end up being tomorrow?
Money green.
What's the coolest part about being invited to the NFL draft?
You're realizing you're a step closer to your ultimate dream. The media is there to be a microphone for us.
Yeah.
You can see all the great things that are happening here in Detroit.
It's in the fourth quarter against Notre Dame. They're going to throw it to you in the back of the end zone.
4th and 1, one of the greatest catches in Michigan history. My man.
Wow.
This is SportsCaster.com.
You're getting the only high school football game coverage in Southeast Michigan you need. The Drive to the Game. Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Once again, Chris Renwick.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action. Good to have you. Hornets looking for more. It's 1st and 10 from the 18. Here's a sweep. Trying to find some space is LaDainian Woods. Not a ton. Get back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. Chris Renwick, good to have you along this evening alongside my broadcast partners tonight, Noah Boyce and Cam Abale. It's good to have you here. You were talking about we were talking about, these guys that are playing on these teams are so big. They are so strong, so skillful, and one of the players specifically on that defense is an impactful guy for Saline.
That's right. Number 79, Michael Reeder. I've been here close to a decade. I've known him just as long.
To his right, looking, throwing, incomplete. Far side, Jaden Leonard, the intended target, but it falls out a little wide, incomplete. Brings up an important 3rd down here.
Jacob McDonnell on coverage. I mentioned at the end of the first half, Dexter's got a tradition, the turnover gong. Every turnover, you get to run over there and smash that gong. I don't think my night will be complete if that gong isn't rung.
Well, they got 11 minutes left here.
Let's make some plays.
My night will be completed if you don't bring that gong. Come on, Saline, we got this.
3rd down here for Saline. Dexter trying to mitigate these points that Saline's been building up. Saline up 31-7. Carr takes, has time and space, throws. Scott LaDainian Woods inside the 5-yard line, down to the 2, down to the 1. So big 3rd down conversion again for the Hornets. Puts them deep in Red Knot territory, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 2.
Number 77, Tanner Rinderknecht coming out again for this goal line defense. First and goal. Dexter's got to stiffen up and start stopping them here because another touchdown would put them up 37-7, and that is not the kind of pit you want to be in at this point in the game.
10:24 to play. Tommy Carr from the shotgun takes, gives, Up the middle, nothing there. Nate Wolper on the carry. He'll be stopped short. No gain, second down coming up. And when you bring in that extra beef up front, we talked about Render Connect, it certainly helps on plays like that.
100%. I mean, Saline's running backs, James Rush, he's got 2 touchdowns on the game. You got to find a way to stop him. If he's running down your throat, make him run outside by putting in a little extra meat. Our outside linebackers hopefully can set an edge and put that to rest, because the run game has been a big part of Saline's success on offense. And Dexter's got to stop it.
Here's the fake. Carr rushing to his right, throws, nobody home. Incomplete, just threw that one away. I think he wanted to go over the top. He faked it to James Rush. Wanted to go over the top, but it was good coverage on the back end.
Owen Wandrash in pursuit. Said he's the toughest guy out there. He's fast, too. He's big. He's about my size, around 5'7", 5'8", but his shoulders, serious, like the width of a car. It is, in practice, it is impossible to run JV offense against him because he's so dominant.
3rd and goal from the 2. Here's a sweeper. LaDainian Woods not finding anything. He's tackled for a loss back at the 5-yard line, and that's a good stop there by this Dreadnoughts defense.
A fleet of Dreadnoughts coming after them. These guys are not about to give up. Not yet. This defense needs to put something on here. It looks like they're about to go for a field goal. It was a good stop, not allowing 6, but 3's still going to hurt. Saline player late on the field. Forgot he was on the field goal unit.
This is a little chip shot here. Good snap, good hold. Ooh, over the top, nearly blocked. That one is up and good.
Costco remains perfect.
Having a very consistent game as Saline expands the lead. It's 34-7, 8:22 to play in this one. And it's a big game for both of these teams. I think Saline, we're starting to see a little bit of that momentum, right? You see the game that they had last week against Brighton. They really blew that thing open, a 21-point lead. Tonight, I think for Dexter, this feels like a springboard game. It feels like one where they're not gonna like a lot of what they saw on tape, but this is something that I think probably makes them better going forward.
Yes, I'll give credit where credit is due. Saline is one of the best teams in the SEC Red, the conference that Dexter and Saline are both in. Coming off this game, it is nice seeing how we're kind of playing well against a top-tier team like this. We could be playing a lot better, but it is going to give us hope. And like you said, it's kind of a springboard thing where we play against Saline, maybe we'll springboard the next week and play better.
This one off, fielded on the run at the 20-yard line and then taken down hard on special teams. Nice job, Grant Goodrich, on the bring back. Get this Dexter offense out on the field.
That's the thing about our special teams. It's just like a swarm of hornets. They all converge on the ball. We've been learning that since 7th grade.
Little fun fact here for you. The all-time record, Dexter versus Saline, is 12-41-1. Saline leads. That is a .231 average for Dexter, which is not hot.
It's not, but again, I think that, again, you look at the way this game played out. There was a couple fluky plays early, some opportunities that both these teams capitalized on. And then that creates momentum. It creates that ball is out. Bouncing around, pinballing off players. Arnett was taken down hard. But it looks like Dexter will keep it at the 31-yard line.
Oh, Dexter's lucky there. Arnett tried to scramble out of the pocket, and he got his arm hit, dropped the ball, and it looked like nobody thought it was a fumble. I couldn't see what Saline player tried to pick it up, but he kind of muffed it around and Dexter landed on it. We're lucky.
Second down. Here's the Arnett in trouble. Spins out of it. Looks down the field. Throws incomplete. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a really good throw for a guy that had to throw across his body, squared himself up. He was looking all the way down the field for Cole Navarra, but that one just fell just shy of where he was able to pull it in. Incomplete, third down.
Cooper Arnett is just one of those talented players. Tonight, he's not playing his best, but he does have the commitment and talent to go and do great things. This year, he wants to be one of the best players on the team, and he wants to lead this team to an SEC Red Championship and maybe a state championship.
Pushing it down the field, nobody home. He was looking for Jaden Juback, but good coverage there by Princeton Jones, the corner, and it falls incomplete. It's fourth down. Dexter going to have to punt it away. 7:27 to play. Saline up 34-7.
Looked like a little bit of miscommunication between the quarterback and Jaden Juback. That wasn't pretty. They're not on the same page right now.
Just under 7:30 to play. Dexter going to punt it away. That rugby-style punt once again. It's going to take a good Dexter bounce. Keeps rolling inside the 30 to the 25 and then all the way down to about the 21-yard line. And that's where Saline will start this drive. 7:14 to play, up 34-7. But a lot of upside for both of these teams going forward. I think Saline shows you that they are an explosive team. The Lincoln Keys of the world. LaDainian Woods making a couple big plays today. Austin Abbott coming through with a couple of big catches. And, of course, Tommy Carr dealing them out. I think you see what this team is.
Definitely. If you can have a complete and total link with your QB, it's perfect. Just as Rush was doing it earlier, just as Abbott was doing it earlier, they were in perfect communication, perfect sync. They knew what the other was thinking.
7:14 to play. Tommy Carr takes, gives, little bit of a hole. Boy, nice job holding on to his feet because James Rush had a lane to go the distance. And Dexter, I think, offensively early on did some really nice things. Had the short field, had the long punt return on special teams. And after that, Saline had a couple of fortunate bounces. Saline had a couple of things go their way and took advantage. And as a result, just felt like Dexter was never able to kind of get the wheel spinning.
No, yeah. I mean, Dexter took advantage of that early kick return by Cole Navarra, but after that, we stopped taking those opportunities and we started giving out mistakes.
Throw, far sideline, far hash. That one's caught. It was a rocket by Tommy Carr. Hauled in by Matthew Backron. It's enough for a first down.
One of the main things Dexter needs to focus on right now is stopping Saline's offense. Many of the Saline drives in the first half took double-digit plays and took a chunk out of the clock. There are 6 minutes left in this game. If Dexter wants any chance at coming back, it starts right now, this drive, this down.
Two receivers to the left for Tommy Carr. Here's a give. Up the middle with some room. Out to the 50-yard line. That's a good carry there. Isaiah Rodriguez on the tote. Pick up 9, so it'll be second and short.
Number 13, Kyle Sislow, outside linebacker for Dexter. Getting a little scrappy there. This is a big game for both Dexter and Saline. The last 2-3 years, it has been Dexter and Saline on top of the SEC Red. There aren't many other teams that can compete for this spot, and these athletes are getting heated. I'm surprised we haven't seen a little bit more scrappiness.
Yeah, and you got to be careful. You don't want to get too out of hand. Obviously, lopsided score, big game, rivalry certainly. But there's still a lot to play for this season. And I think that's probably one of the messages that's being delivered now in that huddle. It's let's play within ourselves. Let's keep things, on the right track. Score doesn't reflect it. Doesn't matter what the score is. Let's just keep things moving in the right direction.
You're right. You got to keep your head up. If you set your head down for just 1 second, Tommy Carr's going to take advantage of that. You're either going to have a running back flying by you or a ball over your head. You got to keep your head up and play as hard as you can until the horn blows and the game's over.
So second and short here, 5:30 to play in this game. Saline up 34-7. Tommy Carr calls for it, gets it, pushing forward just enough to the 49-yard line of Dexter. It'll be enough for a first down. Isaiah Rodriguez on the carry again. So the clock will run, 5:22 to play. And again, Saline not in any hurry here. They got the score on their side, the time on their side, near midfield, and they just want to take away as much of this clock as possible.
That is so true. This is exactly what Saline wants. We want to get up 3-4 touchdowns. We want 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is exactly what they want.
Carr to the shotgun. Ooh, low snap. Rodriguez just picks it up. Tries to hit the hole. He's going to lose yardage back to the 50-yard line. That's a heads-up play by a backup running back. It was just a bad snap. Well on the ground. Rolled around. I don't even know if Tommy Carr really saw it, but Rodriguez didn't scoop it.
Cam, I got to know, what was it like in Saline this week coming up for Dexter? Do you think Saline, knew they were going to have this game, or was it a little bit iffy?
Well, I personally feel like I saw all the players in all my classes in the halls. They were all getting really excited. As the week progressed, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they kept getting more and more excited.
Carr looks to his left, nothing there, so he's going to take off to the right and run out of bounds. Heads-up play as he scrambles to the 42-yard line. And what was it like in Dexter this week in class?
Well, we always have high hopes for games. We know we're a lot better than we're playing right now, so I was talking to a bunch of guys, and they said, we think we have this week. Saline beat Brighton, but that doesn't matter to us. It's another game, another tough team, and we have to battle this one out till the end. We believe we have a chance, and, I'm not calling the game over. 4 minutes left. I'm not calling the game over, but like I've said, Dexter needs to pick it up right now, or else it's not going to end very pretty.
4:06 to play. Here's the give. Rodriguez, flag on the play. They'll let it play out. They're going to say he landed at the 43-yard line. Referee communicating with the Dexter sideline. So false start here on the offense. They did let the play run, so they'll back it up 5 yards.
Another example of Saline being a little bit too jumpy there. I'm glad Dexter's playing real sound. They haven't had many penalties, but they're not taking the opportunities. It does look like the ball's staying at the same place, though.
Yeah, so they picked up, or potentially, I think Dexter declined the flag. So it'll force the punt on the third down play. So a good hold here for Dexter.
This is the kind of defense you want to be playing, Cole Navarra back. Hopefully, you heard what he did in the first quarter on that opening kickoff. Right now, we're putting him at a prime position to make a big play to spring Dexter some momentum.
Good snap on the punt. Ooh, that one was nearly blocked, or it was blocked. Picked up coming the other way. Out at the 40 and then taken down at the 15-yard line. Lincoln Key making the tackle. But Nathan Gersh catches that one in midair after it was tipped. And now Dexter in a spot to put this thing in the back of the end zone.
What a heads-up play by number 8, Nathan Gersh. I believe I said this earlier, but growing up, he didn't want to be a linebacker. He wanted to be a receiver. And we can see right there, his natural receiver instinct kind of took a hold of him there as he took that ball and carried it all the way down, little past the 25, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to
around the 30.
Spot this at the 25-yard line. That's where the sticks are. Oh, they've got it to 30. It looks like there's a flag at the 30. And that's going to go against Dexter, so it'll move them back. So they'll spot it this time at the Saline 45. So it'll be 1st and 10 from there. Looks like Mason McAllister in the game at quarterback. He'll take it, fake it, throws. The southpaw couldn't quite get it there. He was looking for his tight end, Will Simpson, but it falls to the turf. 2nd down.
Mason McAllister now starting at quarterback. He's a buddy of mine. You know, he's a hard worker. He's kind of been in the shadow of Cooper Arnett his whole high school career, but he's been playing very well when he's ever in, and he's a good backup to have on a team where, I mean, really, we need all the help we can get.
So McAllister from the shotgun takes, gives up the middle. Not a ton of room. Pick up 3 out to the 42-yard line. Gang tackled by that Hornets front. Just not a lot of room there, and that clock's going to run. 2:55 to play in this one. Dexter with 1 timeout left. McAllister takes, gives once again up the middle. That'll be a gain of 7 out to the 35-yard line. A nice run there by Jack Votow.
One player I do see out there, number 25, Jack DeMerrill. His 8th grade year, he reclassed to play another year of basketball, and he is very focused on basketball. That's his favorite sport, but this year he decided to come out for the team. Looks like he's getting some varsity reps.
Trips to the right. Here's a give. Votow along the right side. Pick up 4 out to the 31. Clock continues to run. 2:09 to play here in this one. Dexter down 34-7, but they want to find some more points before this one's over.
Find some points and keep those starters healthy. Hopefully, these backup guys can score something, make the scoreboard a little more pretty.
3 receivers to the left. Quick toss into the middle of the field. Hauled in by Will Simpson, the tight end, taken down. That's enough for another 1st down for Dexter. Clock runs, 1:37 to play. Saline up big, 34-7. Mason McAllister trying to get this offense into the end zone. 3 receivers to the left. Ball splits the hash marks. Here's a give. Votow up the middle. Running hard inside the 20, inside the 15. Taken down at the 13-yard line. Again, enough for a 1st down.
Jack Votaw kind of showing it off right now. I mean, maybe this is a preview of what we'll see tomorrow at the Dexter Saline JV game. Dexter's now kind of moving it pretty well. I'm sure this is Saline's backup defense, but they're playing better than our number 1 offense right now.
On to play. McAllister takes. Wants to throw. Rolling to his right. Evading a tackler. Gonna take it. Flag here. As McAllister is going to the sideline, maybe a late hit out of bounds.
Another Saline penalty. Man, not a lot of discipline on that Saline side. Dexter now just needs to take advantage of this short field, put it in the end zone. Get another 7.
I think that's going to fall on Brady Clark, the defensive back. So that'll move Dexter into prime position here. Three receivers to the left. 42 seconds left to play. McAllister takes, lofting one to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Dreadnought! What a catch! Oliver Hudson one-handing it.
Oliver Hutchinson, the punter, showing the hands. Kind of went around the back of that DB and just snagged it.
That was a good throw. Really no danger there from McAllister. Put it in a spot where his player could make a play on it, and Hutchinson did just that. Late player coming on the field for Dexter. He lines up in protection on the right side. The extra point attempt. Good snap. Good hold. Kicks up. And it is good. That's a good way to respond here towards the end of this game for a Dreadnoughts team who started out strong, found a little bit of a lull halfway through, but you stick with the game plan, stick with the plan, and then you come through late with a touchdown. 34-14, Saline still on top.
Start strong, got to end strong. That's what I say.
And so again, Saline capitalized. That long touchdown, the long kickoff return that led to a touchdown on the opening kickoff. It didn't rattle Saline. Certainly, they came back, scored. Then on the kickoff, picked up that fumble, that botched kickoff return, and then scored again. So right off the rip, it was a couple of quick scores for Saline, and that built up the momentum. And
that built up their confidence.
Absolutely. And then conversely for Dexter, it kind of took a little bit of the wind out of the sails, I think.
Yeah, it definitely did. I don't like complimenting Saline. I don't like complimenting the other team, but I will say it is impressive how Saline's been able to keep momentum and just keep the power of this game.
And we've even seen that at times from offensively from the Dreadnoughts. They've had those moments where they've been able to sustain it, and it felt like they were kind of building that momentum, and then it kind of faded. But you got to credit Saline in those situations. And again, I think coming up with a late touchdown shows a lot about what this Dexter team's made of.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you go back and look at this game at the end of the season, I mean, hopefully this is a game where we see, yes, we've got the talent. We've got the players on both sides of the ball. Let's connect the team, unite the team, and start playing to win. Because later on down the year, this is a game you want to springboard off, like you were saying earlier. This isn't a game where you put your head down, walk into next week crying about it. You got to get up next week, realize what Saline did to you, and put another 50 on the next team you play.
So 36 seconds left here. Tommy Carr will take the knee. Dexter has one timeout left.
It's not over, but it might be.
That looks like that's going to do it. The clock will tick down to zeros, and Saline will improve to 2-0 on their season.
I mean, hey, Noah, you complimented my team. I got to compliment your team. I love how Dreadnoughts do never give up. To the end. At the last second, they were still fighting hard. I gotta give them that.
I think there's a lot of promise for these two teams. Certainly a lot of promise for you guys. Noah, boys, thanks for hanging out with us. Great job. Really well done.
Thank you. This is an amazing opportunity.
And it's going to be a fun football season for Dexter, certainly going forward. Camabella, thank you.
Thank
Great
you for having
stuff.
me. This was awesome.
I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. That's going to do it for us. I want to let's get a picture here with Noah's dad. Hey, thank you. Good stuff. Appreciate it. That's going to do it. Zeros on the board. Saline wins this one, 34-17. Ray Templin, thank you. Nick Roddy, thank you. We'll send it down to the fellas on the field. Chris Renwick, have yourself a wonderful Friday night. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Saline wins it, 34-14. You've been listening to Drive to the Game here on WJR.
Prescriptions require online consultation.
This is SportsCaster.com.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
It's Messi. It's his tournament. Is it written in the stars?
They hand it off. Haskins following his block. Haskins, touchdown!
This is your time. Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports?
New York Knicks fans were at the Barclays Center booing because we recognize that we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Want to be the next great voice in sports? SportsCaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. A great sports broadcaster is able to capture the action,
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
amplify the drama,
To the end zone! Touchdown Detroit Lions! Oh my!
and create memories forever etched in our minds.
The year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Sends shivers up our spine, make us leap out of our seat, scream at the TV, and even ask ourselves, did that really just happen? Now it's your turn to let your voice be heard. SportsCaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, including access to the most exciting sports highlight clips. Create your own sports talk show. Stir it up with sports commentary and even take a shot at live play-by-play. Whether young or old, new to sportscasting, or a seasoned voice in sports, just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. SportsCaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands and put you in the center of the action.
The Drive to the Game is sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Now, for post-game analysis and comments, here are Jeff Sloan and Michael Spath.
Post-game show. Saw a really impressive game by Saline tonight. Welcome to the post-game show for those of you who didn't hear. But listen, it was an impressive showing by Saline. Michael Spath.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, this was a game where early on it looked like it was going to be a back-and-forth kind of game. I was talking to one of the officials, and I said, we're going to have a 45-42 type of game. And he said, I bet you one of these teams settles in. And he was right. It was Saline.
Yeah.
They had a huge stop in the, I believe it was the second quarter. It was a 14-7 game, and Dexter came all the way down the field. They went forward on fourth down from the 2-yard line, and they got stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And
then Saline took it all the way down
Saline
the field.
took it all the way down the field.
Right,
I was remarking to our State Farm agents that were joining us, and I said, if they go 95 yards, I don't want to say the game's over with in the first half because it was 21-7 at that point. And the difference in you could just see them. I mean, there are a couple of really nice players on this Dexter football team. Before the show began, Taryn, our student broadcaster, mentioned, 2 players going to Big Ten schools, the offensive lineman going to Wisconsin, the running back going to Northwestern. But the biggest differentiator in this game was the best quarterback on the field was Tommy Carr from Saline High School.
Yeah.
And he's a young man who's a junior, but he will be a Division I recruit, a Power 4 conference recruit here. I'm almost certain of it. Justin Rose and I were talking about it during the game. And so he can make every throw. He has a little bit of, I use this very, very cautiously. No one's saying he is, but Patrick Mahomes runs around and then looks for someone to throw the football to. That's what Tommy Carr was doing tonight. He didn't look to take off. We just saw it actually on Thursday night. First game of the NFL season was Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. One quarterback, as soon as there's any pressure, takes off and runs. The other quarterback dances and dances and dances and then hits a guy 4 yards down the field.
Right.
One guy's got 3 Super Bowl titles, and that guy's Patrick Mahomes. Well, that's what Tommy Carr was like tonight. He was moving around until he had an opportunity to find someone down the field. I mean, this was your first chance to see him. What did you think?
I thought it was extremely impressive. He really stood out. He was the man among boys, if you will, out there on the field tonight. No doubt about it. He was a playmaker. He controlled the game. It seemed like he completed every pass. Of course, he didn't, but it just seemed that way. It had that kind of feel. You knew he was going to make a play, and he did most often during the game. By the way, we got a couple of empty seats here next year. We're going to hope to get a couple of players, maybe even Tommy, to come on the show with us here to talk about the game. So you would obviously have Tommy Carr as the player of the game.
It looks like,
it
looks like Rain is maybe doing the job to
yeah.
get Tommy Carr to come over. She's just got to get a little bit more aggressive. She's just got to go and like grab, and say, hey, we're coming over. Yes, I would have Tommy Carr as the player of the game, although I'll tell you what, James Rush had 2 touchdowns, the first 2 rushing touchdowns of the game, and then he actually had the biggest stop. He had the on 4th down at the 2-yard line. He had the offensive backfield. He stopped Dexter from scoring, and so those were 3 massive plays from James Rush, and I don't know his prospects yet. He's a junior, but I would expect him to be someone who gets some looks from at least group of 5 schools in the future here. But yeah, just a really impressive performance from Saline High School, and you can see why they're ranked number 10 in the state. You can see why. I mean, they put it to Brighton last weekend, and here they put it to Dexter on their home field. And Jeff, I mean, we were talking about so much of the excitement that we felt before the
early
game.
on. Yes.
Don't you kind of feel? I mean, at what point did you start to look in the crowd and go like, oh, those are some long faces?
Well, it's really unfortunate. I mean, they beautiful hospitality here. They had a great night, a lot of fanfare, a lot of kids showed up, a lot of families. They were here supporting their team. The community showed up, and they were really into the game for the first 10 minutes or so. After that, you could see it was starting to. They were definitely calming down with their enthusiasm. They were losing some of it, and some of them even, unfortunately, headed for the exits. And you hate to see that, especially in a beautiful night like this with a great community showing up to support their team.
Yeah, I mean, this is the challenge of high school football.
Sure.
Is you just don't know. What type of performance. I mean, you know that you think your team is a good team, but you don't know how good the other team is. And coming into it, there's a lot of reason. And again, that first quarter was really special between the two of them, and it could have been a 14-14 game. Yeah. If it's all tied up, I mean, I know we say this all the time, but the total complexion of the game changes if it's a 14-14 football game.
Absolutely,
So it looks like we're about to have James Rush here to join us, so that'll be very exciting. We'll get him on.
Looks
in
like
a second
Tommy
here,
Carr's following right behind.
Oh,
too,
terrific!
So we'll
and Lincoln Keys. So we'll just
Good.
drop.
Good.
Drop.
You know
them.
what? I can let them. By the way, I'm happy to turn if all 3 of them want to come on. Michael, you can take it. And we'll get them to come sit down.
Perfect here. This is like live radio. But yeah, we're being joined here by James Rush, the running back and defensive back for Saline High School. James, hopefully you can hear me. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right. So James, congratulations on the victory here tonight. Before we get to the offense, and I'll let Taryn ask you about your rushing touchdowns. I thought the biggest play of the game was a defensive play.
Yes, sir.
They came down after you guys were up 14-7. They came down. They got all the way down to your 2-yard line.
Right.
Tell us about that play and what you saw, because you're the one who made the play, and how that swung momentum so dramatically in your favor.
We were just repping it in practice. That's all it was. Scout O gave us a great look, and when I seen it, I was like, oh, this is the play that's going to happen. So I shot the gap and just made the play. Trust my instincts and just go be great is what I told myself.
Taryn?
And then obviously you had those rushing touchdowns that really just set the score apart from Dexter. How important were those touchdowns to not only you but the team as well?
I feel like it boosted the team morale. Like I said before, a lot of people were calling us soft in the run and said we couldn't run the ball. So I'm like, I'm going to prove to them that we can run the ball, and I'm going to prove it to myself.
Who was calling you soft in the run game?
I don't know. The doubters.
There's some Dexter message boards out there that were just talking trash, or was
the haters.
Was this an internal coaching criticism to motivate you guys?
I mean, that doesn't faze me. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna just focus on what I got going on, and I don't really feed into the critics and all that. So I'm gonna just do what I'm gonna do, prepare, and just go out and play.
Well, it was a great victory. We'll come back to you in a second here, but I want to go over here to Tommy Carr. Who this is your second career start,
Yep.
Correct? You took over for your brother, who is now at Notre Dame. Out there, look, I'm gonna use it. I'm sorry, I watched the NFL last night. There were 2 quarterbacks on the field. One took off running every single time. The other guy danced around until he found someone downfield. That guy's won 3 Super Bowl titles. That's what I felt like I was watching here tonight.
Yep. That's one. Patrick Mahomes, he's a guy I look to do my game off of. So it's been great. That's a part of my game that I've improved on. So that's been, I see what you're saying there. I'm not more of a runner, but improviser.
How much did the early success from James in the running game really set up the pass? Because it seemed like your first 2 drives were pretty run heavy, and then it became more of a passing attack.
Yeah, we came into the game, thinking we could do both, and then we just kept pounding the ball, and it was working, and we didn't go away from it. And that ended up opening the defense for the deeper passes and the short passes. So that was the big part that just kept the momentum going.
We all know that you come from a legendary line of just football fanatics. Do you use that knowledge to your advantage, or do you do your own things to try to become the best player you can be?
Yeah, it's definitely both. There's a lot of information that I get from my family that helps me, but also I got to know that I can be my own player. I don't have to do what necessarily CJ does, but it's been great to have as a tool to improve on my game. That's just been great for me.
You going to Notre Dame tomorrow?
I'm not. My parents are, though. I'll be watching on TV.
Okay. Well, let's come back to over here at James, and you can hand it over to Lincoln here in a second. But just how important was this victory for you guys? I mean, it was a top 25 matchup according to the local papers. Dexter is obviously a division foe, a team just right down the road. Right. How important was it to establish who Saline is this year by beating one of your rivals?
I think this game was real important, but like Coach says, each week is the most important game. So I feel like this game, we're going to celebrate it for 10 hours like you said, but we're on to the next.
You want to hand it over to Lincoln real quick here. Lincoln Keys, who had a couple of nice catches off of the throws from C.J. Carr. Lincoln, I'll ask you the same question. What does this do for momentum for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, this is a big win for us. I mean, there are rivals, and they're a great team, and we just really wanted it more in the end, but we take it week by week, and we're just focused on next week right now.
Who's next week?
We got Pioneer, I think.
All right, look at that. I mean, you said 10 hours. That wasn't even 10 hours. That was like 10 minutes before these folks.
Yeah, we're moved on already, so yes, sir.
Dexter quarterback Cooper Arnett told me that this game was to really determine who's the conference champions. Do you guys think that you have that locked up?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, we'll take it week by week, and just we got to win all of our games. But I mean, that's all we really got to do is just take it week by week.
I'll come back to you, Tommy. So, obviously you had the big stop, and then you came right down the field. So tell us about that drive to make it 21-7, and how did you, from that point on, not let up? Because they still had the home crowd. You guys had a great crowd here tonight.
Yep.
Great crowd here tonight. Terrific student section. I'm a little bit older than you guys. I don't know about all these themes that the student sections do. I mean, like you guys had like a cowboy theme.
Yep.
They had a jersey theme. Last week, De La Salle had an American flag theme. Maybe one of you guys can tell me about it in a second. But that drive to go up 21-7, how big was that, and how did you make sure that you kept your foot on the gas pedal?
Yeah, that was huge. Like I said earlier, James, the rushes from him honestly allowed us to pass it more down the field. We got a few big passes. We kept running it, but we also mixed in passes, and we just scored, and we just never never took our foot off the gas pedal, and we just went on from there.
Lincoln, so what is this theme thing with the student section? Where did this come from? Has this always been like, I'm really old, I'm 44 years old, so I'm not, but like how long has this been going on? Because I certainly in high school, we didn't do this.
Yeah, I don't really know, honestly. I don't pay too much attention to that, but they always got some sort of cool theme going every week, so it's kind of fun to see.
And then anyone can answer this, but this is Kyle Short's first season as a head coach, and Joe Palca was your coach for just forever. How different is it to have Kyle, even like just the coaching style? And I witnessed your post-game kind of meeting. I really liked his energy. Just, is he a lot different than Joe? Like, have you learned anything different?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great change. I mean, lots have changed over the past couple of months, but I mean, him being in this new position, first-time head coach, I mean, he's doing a great job, and he really cares about us, and I can feel it every single game, and he cares about every single one of us, and that's what matters most.
Any other thoughts to that?
I think he said it perfectly.
Okay, okay. Well, you guys, congratulations again. You go play Pioneer next weekend. Is it home or is it at Pioneer?
Away, home or away, yeah.
Okay, so at Ann or Pioneer. Yeah. So we wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you very much for joining us. Great victory here tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
This is Michael Spath and Taryn Fritching for WJR and SportsCaster.com. We are wrapping up. A lot of thank yous that we need to offer here today. Usually my co-host and co-founder Jeff, but he just was like, I'm just taking over. Thank you to the WJR team, Ray Templin, Dave Rieger, Nick Roddy, and, of course, the play-by-play man for tonight's broadcast, Chris Renwick, who did a terrific job with our student broadcasters, Noah, Cody, Cam, Rain, just did a outstanding job. Thank you to our Sportscaster team, Mark Pastoria, Steve Adams, Justin Rose, Christian Kujua, Eric Kelly, and Mick Bragi. Did I say Bragi right? Of course, to Jeff Sloan and myself, and thank you to Taryn for coming out here and for the pregame, the postgame, and doing a terrific job. Week 1 to week 2, how'd you think your own individual jump went?
I think that it went really smoothly, and the nerves were honestly non-existent, but I think that I really utilized my resources, what I had to do better research and to just really kind of dig deep and just try to get that inside source that maybe not everybody has, and I think that's honestly really helped me this week.
You did a great job, Taryn. We are so excited to bring you to the broadcast week after week. Next week, we will be at Orchard Lake St. Mary's when they host De La Salle, again Friday night, 6:45 here on SportsCaster.com. The live broadcast will start at 7 o'clock on WJR. We'll have a couple of more students, although one of them you already know, Gavin, will be back. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Enjoy the weekend. Go blue, go green, and go Lions.
Woo!